Dude, this is a good prompt.
Appreciate it, man.
I like it.
Um, what's your take on the prompt?
Well, I think until recently, mothers used to be like a powerful position in the family and in society, and so men worked and didn't really need the that kind of attention because that wasn't required. So in the past, it was a way to just appreciate, the wife and the mother. But nowadays, I mean, now it's just about, I don't know, like attention seems to be a common thing among the queens and the princesses. But I mean, dude, like, it's a joke now, like back in the day it meant something, but now it's just a clown show. It's like, give me a break, dude. Get out of here with that. Like, how many baby daddies you got? So you're gonna multiply that by X? Okay, get out of here with that. But that's just me,
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like society only celebrate mothers because of just a lot of single mothers been taking place over the years. Maybe for shit, probably late 1970s or the 1970s and up. It's been like a lot of single mothers, and also like with the holiday, like Mother's Day, we celebrate that shit like it's like we celebrate it like it's the fucking Super Bowl event.
Yeah, dude, for sure. It's hilarious. Like, it should be renamed from Mother's Day to Single Mother's Day. Yeah. Oh man, I got like so many funny things to say about that. I mean, shit, like 20 years ago, man, like it was like women still were, even if they were divorced, they were like most of them were still worth a damn. Like they'd get remarried and start a new family, but now that's not the case. Like, I was like, I don't know, I came across a statistic today, and apparently less than 47% of the population is now married.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, being married, and like, I mean, I think the statistic was a little bit more specific. It was like married with kids and a house and a dog or some shit like that. But apparently that's now the abnormality, which is crazy. Like, damn, dude. Saw another statistic that's talking about like by the year like 2045, like 70% of women are going to be single. I was like, oh, that's not good. Like, fuck.
Hell nah.
Hello. Hey. Good morning.
Matthew.
Yo.
This
Um,
guy.
what's your
88,
take?
baby.
What's your take?
1488, baby. Let's go.
What's my take on it?
The prompt, yes.
Yeah, you bet. As far as it goes, okay, I'm a 44-year-old man. My old lady is 42, and we've never been married, but we've been together for 16 years.
Congratulations.
The
Yeah,
sun
thank
is
you.
rising.
Thank you. But my thing is, dude, like, I'm a very religious man. She isn't so much, and so it's one of the things where, but at the same time, we both kind of over the years we've kind of came to an agreement where it's like we don't really care. I mean, we love each other, and we're together, and we never had a child together. She had two, and I had two, and even then, with my first two kids' moms, they were the ones that chose to leave me, and I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant or anything like that, but I make money, and so it's like for them to leave me, I believe is just absolutely stupid. I mean, they both with drug addicts now, and they're on meth and coke, and it just But luckily enough, I went to court and I took full custody of both of my kids.
Good
And
job.
so like
Congratulations. Well
yeah,
deserved.
yeah. So I won in court. I mean, the judge didn't
I
even
have 3
look.
daughters, brother. I support you 1,000%.
Hey, thank you, appreciate that. But either way, so now being that I'm getting older, I started young though, dude. I had my daughter at 19. I was young. My kid's mom was 18 and I was 19, and I was using condoms and she was on birth control. And guess what? I still had a daughter out of it. But getting back to your prompt, I mean, it just why people don't get married anymore. I think a lot of it is due to religion. I heard somebody speaking in the panel here about like 47% of the nation that like they're not even.
Oh, that's that was champion.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Z and 88. Z and 88. Throw up the Roman salutes, brother. Throw up the Roman salutes. Let's go.
Hell yeah, white power, fuck niggers.
Dig fucking hell,
Hitler.
baby. Sig
Hell
hell.
yeah, brother. That's
Big
what I'm
hell, baby.
talking
Let's
about,
go.
brother. Fuck niggers and
All
Jews.
right.
Hell yeah, brother. Come on.
Okay. Shit,
Right
we're
down
doing
the
full
middle,
send.
motherfucker.
We're full
Fuck
sitting this shit. That's
niggers.
crazy. Yeah,
What-
fuck them,
what is-
dude. Fuck
what
them.
is
But
it?
don't fuck niggers if you know what I mean.
No, but dude, what is everybody gonna bring?
It's true. We don't fuck niggers.
Oh man, I'm a
We just
nigger
hate
lover.
them.
I don't hate niggers. I'm a nigger lover.
That's not what I said at all. My old lady is 100% Mexican.
This is ridiculous. Time out. Why? Like, why?
Yeah,
I mean, they hate the wrong people.
It's like, why? I just feel sorry for racist crackers. I do. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I believe we're all racist, but there's levels to racist. Like, I feel sorry for the undisputed racist crackers. I do. This is crazy.
dude, I'm a farm boy from Nebraska. Okay, I was I was born to be racist. I mean, like but that's that's the way my grandparents are raised. That's the way my parents are, living back in the 40s and 50s and 60s and all that stuff. Like, but dude, the only time you'll ever hear any type of racism come out of my mouth is when this hood like ghetto shit. I can't stand that. I know a lot of black
And it's the
men.
thing. And it's the thing, though. Why would me, like, as an American nigga, right? Why would I go on a white man's panel and just say hunky cracker, this and that and that? Like, why would I do that? Like, it don't make sense. It don't
Well,
make
I mean,
sense.
Why spread hate? All right, there's already enough in this freaking world. There's already enough, dude. It's like
Exactly.
just like be kind. Like you don't know from I don't care who jumps in here. You don't know from each individual day like what that person is going through. You know what I mean? I don't want to get on here and start spreading hate to boot. Like that just. I mean, come on. We're here to talk. We're here to share our opinions. And I'm not saying one person's opinion is right over the other. You know what I mean? I
And
don't
we
care
have
what
to
color.
grow mentally. And we got to grow mentally and stop being racially immature.
Yes, yes. And that's why I have black friends. You know what I mean? And I am a white boy. But it's one of the things too where I'm not walking on here. I don't care what panel I get on. I'm not walking around here spreading hate regardless. I'm just not that type of person, you know. Just I go to work every day and I make sure my kids taken care of and all that stuff. I just why do you get on here being a jerk, you know? Just talk and share each other's opinions, you know. But here, you asked me for my opinion. That's my opinion. Somebody else can start talking.
Yeah, John. What's your take on the front?
Cool. I was set. I don't think. I think women. There's a general value gap between men and women. So perhaps women are generally valued more than men. That's probably a good reason.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
I'll say it used to be that way.
Okay.
Just women honestly, in my opinion, they want to empower themselves. They miss independent. I mean, you know, and that's okay. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But then throughout the years with tradition and things like that, they lose what it's like to be an actual woman. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so me, like I said a million times, I'm from Nebraska, and so like me and my woman being together 16 years, we wake up every day knowing our chores. We wake up every day like knowing what's expected out of each other. And I mean, she knows flat out. And I'm not saying this is her job, but I'm saying like she knows that I can't stand dishes, and she knows that I can't stand laundry. She knows that. But I'm the one out changing oil on the vehicles. I'm the one out mowing the yard. I'm the one out taking my chainsaw and cutting down branches. I'm the one doing, you know, like the physical, manly labor, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? And so we wake up every day knowing our roles. And she respects that. And I respect what she does too. You know, does that make any sense? Just,
Yeah, you both have your purpose in your relationship.
Matthew,
correct.
quick question. Do you view your woman as an equal?
Absolutely. 100%.
Shit.
I mean, dude, well, okay. When it comes to like physical labor, no, I do not. Because like, okay, I spent the majority of my life, I spent 25 years owning my own painting business. Okay. This woman is scared of heights. She's scared of a lot of things. She's not going to get up on my roof out here, and she's not going to blow the twigs out of the gutters. Okay. With my painting business, I spent the majority of my life sitting here getting up on 28, 32, 36, 40-foot ladders. No, she's not going to do that kind of crap. She's not going to do it. So, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about, like equal.
Does she make as much money as you?
She's close. She's not bad. She's not that far behind. She's a nurse. And so like, I mean, she's there, but she's there in her own respective field. If that
As
makes
an
sense.
equal, I mean, like as an equal, meaning like you're the king, you're the boss. Like,
Well, she respects.
do you see her like do you see her as your partner or your teammate?
Yes, she is my teammate, and she has been for
Yes.
16 years.
Yes, and I
16
agree
years.
with that.
Yes. No, that woman knows what the way I feel about her. You know, she knows that, and we have that mutual respect between the two of us.
But do you? I mean, like, but like, do you think that she view you as the boss, as the king, as the man in charge?
Yeah, yes. I mean, sure, because I'm the man of the relationship. Yes. When it comes out to going out, say we go out and buy a new vehicle. You know, I mean, yes, she's at the end of the day, I'm gonna have the final say so. I mean, yes. I mean,
Because like
There's
a lot of women view themselves as they were the parents in a relationship these days.
no, no. My woman does not do that at all. Zero.
That's a good thing.
She has her opinion, and I have my opinion. And we sit down and talk about it, and then I mean we come to a conclusion. I mean that's it. We decide that together because we are a team. We talk about stuff. Dude, we share the same bank account. We share the same checking account.
Whoa,
We
whoa,
share the
whoa,
same
whoa,
savings
whoa,
account.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
Yeah, that
Because
is
I because
crazy.
I because I trust her. I love her and I
Oh,
trust her.
nephew, shit.
And
Bruh.
she does, dude. She's never once. This woman, I'll put it to you like this: she'll turn around and say she goes out and spends $300 on groceries, right? And say I'm at work, because we work two different shifts. She works 6 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock at night. I work 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night. I just got off work not that long ago. But the first thing she does is she turns around, and I've got our banking app. I can tell what she goes and spends and what she doesn't. And so she turns around and says she goes spend $300 on groceries. She'll go, Matt, I got this, I got that. I had to pick this up, I had to pick that up, blah, 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 whatever. By the way, while I was there, I ended up spending about $300. I mean, this woman stays in constant communication with me no matter what. No matter what. Because, and so do I. I turn around and I show her that same respect. So it just, I trust her with everything in me.
Dude,
With everything in me.
Champion, like, what's your take on what Matthew just said?
I mean, dude, like, that's crazy because we live in 2026. Women can vote. Women can open their own bank accounts, get their own credit cards. Like, they have their own credit score. And, like,
Yes.
I
I know,
mean, I think
I
you're
know
living in the
exactly, I know
past,
exactly
bro.
what credit card she has. I know exactly what she has for her credit score. I can tell you right now.
I mean, I don't want to know that. I'm just saying.
Ole, you can tell me, Matthew. Like, what's her credit score?
Well, she flat out, here's another story behind it. Okay, my old lady is originally from Texas, right? And we found out later on through the years, we found out that her aunt was actually like claiming she was going to be her. She was using the last name. Like I said, my old lady's 100% Mexican. And so she was using her identity to actually steal from her. So there was a point in time where my old lady's credit was shit. It was nothing. And so she turned around and she's got all that fixed now. And hell, I think she's up to a 680 now or something like that. But, it is what it is, man. I mean, things happen over time. The craziest part about with my wife, or I shouldn't say my wife, we are engaged, but the crazy part about it is like her mother passed away at 45 and her dad passed away at 47. And so like she's really like embraced my family, my mom and dad. My dad's 75, my mom's 74. And like I said, I'm an older man, I'm 44. So she don't really have a whole lot of family to speak of anymore, other than like maybe some aunts and uncles and stuff like that. And like I said, they're all down in Texas. So
How many children, do you guys have?
She has 2 and I have 2. We've never had one together. We've never
Whoa,
had one together.
whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. I've been raising her. Well, okay. Her son now. Let's see. My oldest daughter is 24. Her daughter now is 22. And then you have her son, which is 19, and my son is 18.
Well, this is kind of.
This is very like traditionally old school.
Well, like, I gotta ask this question because it's kind of weird in a way, but it's reality.
Mm-hmm.
What if your daughter's son married your oldest daughter?
okay, for one thing, my daughter who is 24, she has a 1.5-year-old. Okay, I'm missing. Maybe you're getting confused about my kid's age.
No. Because think about it. They're not related because
Yeah.
y'all don't have children together.
Correct.
So they're not related. So that's why I say like
No,
weirdly,
dude.
but it's reality. Meaning if they, I mean, like, even though they see themselves as brothers and sisters, but that's not reality,
Absolutely, they all grew up together. Yes,
and that's
it
beautiful.
just,
But they're not bloodline.
dude, that's kind of a weird question to me because they don't look at each other like that. They're not. I mean,
But see, Matthew. In my defense, it's not a weird question because they're not technically bloodline.
I mean, could it technically, could it potentially happen? Sure, it could.
Right. That's all.
But
That's all right. It was just a
but
question.
but they don't look at each other like that, man. They are family. I mean, I literally, okay, for example, like her son who is now 19. Okay, I've been raising him since he was 3 years old. Then you turn around, you got my son who was 18, and then you have her daughter who is 22, and then you have my daughter who is 24. And she turned me into a grandpa at 44. I'm a grandpa at 44. But anyway, no, these guys are tight knit, dude. I mean, they love each other, and they are brothers and sisters, even without technically being brothers and sisters. You know what I mean?
Have they ever said like if they got upset when they had arguments, did they not want to claim them? Well, I mean,
No, it's never been about that. I mean, just no, they've never gotten to that serious of a fight to the point where they're like, well, you ain't even my sister anyway. You're not my brother anyway. No, they've never done that shit because they love each other. You know, it just, I mean, yeah, they have their squabbles, they have their fights. You know, they do their own shit, but it's never gotten to that extreme. It's never gotten to that point where they're like, well, you ain't my sister anyway. You know what? No, they don't do that. They love each other. You know?
like champion, what's your take on what Matthew said, and like what's your take on my question when I asked him about her oldest son and his daughter?
Well, I mean, those things do happen quite a bit. And then, I mean,
maybe in bigger cities. It don't happen around Nebraska. I mean, no, I'm not saying, you know, you get up to Lincoln or you get up to Omaha and stuff like that. I'm not saying anything like that, but no.
I mean, I just can't believe you put all your financial power in someone else in a woman's hands. To me,
no, she don't have financial power.
I mean,
I am the primary. She is a secondary.
What happens if she like goes on a
shopping spree?
Things, you know, yeah, shopping spree to spend your money.
Well, as far as our checking account goes, I mean, yeah, I guess in a way she absolutely could. She absolutely could if she wanted to. But I'm telling both of you, I'm sitting here. I've been with this woman for 16 years. She's not going to do that to me. She's not going to do that.
How many men have said that in all of human history?
If I were strictly, I mean, like if I really was really truly worried about it, I would have gotten rid of that a long time ago. Okay, you think about like the car loans. Like I said, her credit score is only about 680, right? Okay, I'm way better than that.
Damn.
And it's one of the things where no, financially I have the control. And if she decided to turn around and go pull some bullshit like that, then I'd turn around and I would call my bank and I'd be like, hey, you need to cancel that payment. You need to do this. You need to do that. Because I didn't give her permission to do that. Well, she's on the checking account. Okay, well, fine, she is. But I'm telling you, guys, I've been with the same one for 16 years. And she has never once in 16 years ever screwed with me. She's never done any crazy crap like that.
Yeah.
Now, like if we were on the rocks and we were having a hard time together and like we're damn near separating, okay, fine. That might be a whole completely different situation. That might be different. But we love each other and we're together. And we have all the kids out of our house. So like they're all adult age and above. So it's one of the things where like just we're good. We're straight. I mean, that's it. You know, it's done. We did our jobs as parents. We did our jobs. And like I said, I'm even a grandpa at 44. So it's one of the things where now me and her walk around together every day, and it's freaking weird. It is weird because we don't have any kids at the house anymore. And now it's just down to me and her.
What happened to your daughter's baby daddy?
No, we don't want to get into that. Because I can't stand that son of a bitch. I can't. No, he is one of the most cocky, arrogant piece of shit I ever met in my life. But I have to keep my mouth shut because he has my granddaughter. So I shut the hell up, and as long as I can see.
I'm just curious.
Oh no, they're together. No, they're great.
Oh, they're together. Okay.
Yes, they're great. No, they're their own couple.
Have you took like family pictures with your, I don't want to say son-in-law, but you know.
Yes, I've got, dude. We taken family pictures. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know why I can't convince either one of you guys that me and my old lady are fine. We're
No,
good.
no. I never questioned. Well, to me, it's just a shocker because at least like 99.9% of men wouldn't do that, especially that's not married. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what we're saying.
Well, I explained to you why we're not married. Just we don't see eye to eye as far as religion. Okay, even though I'm an extremely religious man, you know, I grew up in a parochial school. Okay.
Is she one of those ladies who thinks that we're like from monkeys or some shit?
No. It's
We
not
evolved.
like that. It's not like that. It's not like that at all.
I had a girlfriend that was like that. It was awful.
Oh, dude, I'm sure because they believe in science over religion, and that's everybody can have their own personal opinion. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But at the same time, I believe in God. I believe, you know, what I'm a true believer, and so it's one of the things where my old lady, she. Once again, I told you guys earlier, she lost her mom at 45 and she lost her dad at 47. Okay? And that was a long time ago. And so now it's like, now we're both in our 40s. She's 42 and I'm 44. And now she's starting to question her faith because she was never really truly religious to begin with. But she sees how religious I am. And now when she lost her parents at that age, and then here last week, she's actually lost her uncle, too, which is her dad's brother. And so, like, my old lady is sitting around here just like, is there really a freaking God? Is there really? You know, like, I mean, she's questioning. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Because she basically, all she has left in her life is my parents and my sisters and just... I mean, of course, her kids are still alive, clearly, but it just, she doesn't know what to think anymore. She's just like, why would God let you do this to me as a person? Why? And I don't blame her for thinking that way. I really don't. Because I would question the same thing myself. You know?
I don't know.
Matthew, what's your credit score?
Why are we bringing it up right now?
Well, like another question. So, like Matthew,
you're a white guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already flat out said I'm a white boy from Nebraska.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Matthew, so say like if you and your girlfriend, well, you and your woman break up, right?
Actually, and you should say fiance. We are engaged.
Fiance, okay,
Yeah.
congrats. If you and your fiance break up, right? Would your daughters and her son, like basically, would you guys' children still claim each other as brother and sister?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
That's why I told you earlier. I've been raising her son since he was 3 years old, and as far as her daughter goes, I've been raising her since she was 6. So but she's also been helping me raise my kids. You know,
And your daughters view her as a mother.
absolutely. I mean, there's no question. I mean, she calls her all the time. She talks to her all the time. We have my granddaughter. Her name is Enalia, by the way. And
Okay.
but we gave her a nickname. Her name is Nala, and we have Nala out here all the time. And it just mainly the weekends because, like I said, she works first shift. I work second shift, and so what? Yeah,
Matthew, I think your credit score is over 800.
no, I have connections. Dude, I could go buy a brand new truck right now if I want to. I can go spend $70,000, $80,000. I can go do whatever the hell I want, but I don't.
It's
You know
always
what
good to have connections. Congrats on that.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude, I need a connection on my credit score.
Hey, you know what I actually did? I love Chevy Colorados. I love them. And so I turned around and I went out and bought a 2008 Chevy Colorado from a dealership here in town. And so we agreed on two things. I had him put brand new tires on the back of it. It's 4-wheel drive. Do you guys know much about engines?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't judge me, but no.
Okay. Well, I'm an old gearhead. My dad. God, it pisses me off. He sold his original '57
Oh no.
Chevy, four-door hardtop. Sold that on me. That was his first car when he was a kid. When he was 16. When he turned around, he became a 16-year-old. Got his driver's license. He promised me that car. So then he turned around, and I was going to fix it up. I can do body work. I was a painter for 25 years. I can do all that stuff. But anyway, and then so he had a '63 Impala convertible.
Ooh.
Yeah. So then he goes, Matt. All right, I turn around and I sold my old '57 Chevy. So here, you can have my 1963 Impala convertible. And then now I'm not going to be an asshole to him because he rebuilt the motor, the original 327 V8 that he had in it, and God, he ended up getting 20 grand out of it. But see, at that time, he needed a new paint job on it. The engine, the transmission, and everything. It was on its last legs, I guess you could say. But either way, so I was really talking about my truck, wasn't I? Isn't that what I said? So I got a 2008 Chevy Colorado, and you look them up. Those are some of the best trucks out there. Well, I bought that off a dealership here in town, and I agreed to you guys when I bought it. I only bought it for $7,500. It had 192,000 on it when I bought it. But they turned around and I was like, put 2 brand new tires on the back, turn around, fill up the tank, change the oil on it and all that stuff. And good Lord, they turned around, they never changed the oil on it. So me and the old lady, we had to turn around, we had to spend $4,800 putting a brand new engine in that son of a bitch. And yeah. You guys, why are you guys all listening to me, man? Tell me you're.
Wait, Matthew. Can you please help Champion and Tyler both like with their credit, and also Tyler, can you please answer the prompt?
Yeah. You said, why does society celebrate mothers more than fathers? I don't think that's true.
Explain.
I mean, we got Mother's Day and we got Father's Day. That's one of each.
But you know for a fact, and also we're in America, but you know for a fact, a lot of people in America, fuck it, over 90% of people in America celebrate Mother's Day way more than Father's Day.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
last time would you get your dad for Father's Day, Tyler?
Nothing.
What'd you get your mom?
My mom died. I didn't get her anything.
Wait. We can't like say that D
No.
word.
She passed away.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I said no. I said, ain't no, but not like no. Like my dad's married to like my stepmom and stuff. No, like it is what it is. But I think
But you still like celebrate Mother's Day with your stepmom, correct?
no, I don't. I don't see like she's a mom in the sense of like she had she had a kid before like she was married before my dad, so like she had a kid before that. But in the sense of like she took care of us, no, she didn't. She was she was a textbook stepmom, bro.
Well, the people in your family, right? Like the women in your family, right? Do they not? People celebrate them on Mother's Day, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, sure, yeah.
But wait, okay, I'm kind of jumping in here. Wait, why do you not celebrate with them? I mean, I know you said she wasn't exactly the best person in the world, but
I mean, I don't celebrate with my like stepmom because I don't even live with her. But I mean, I guess like I don't. It's not. I don't celebrate. I recognize I don't celebrate like I'm not like out there.
yeah,
I'll
but
say
didn't you say that she helped raise you though
my stepmom.
before your mom passed?
I mean, yeah. Or, like not even. She passed away when I was like 6.
You bet. Okay.
Like
Well,
5 or 6 or so, and then my stepmom took over. But like she was a stepmom. She didn't like play any part.
well, like I was telling these guys earlier. I mean, me and my wife we're not technically married. We're engaged, but you know we've been together 16 years, and it's one of the things where she always stepped up to the role. I mean, even though knowing that those are not her kids, but I also did the same thing at the same time.
You have like other kids by like somebody else.
Yeah, yes.
Appreciate the heartbeat, Booney.
Yeah, she has 2, and I have 2.
Okay.
But in the 16 years that we spent together so far, it's this woman's always stepped up. She's always treated my kids as equals to hers. You know what I mean? And just
Right. No, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I like I wish that's what it was. Like that's how it was for me. Like my stepmom, but she already had like a kid with somebody else before like her and her ex-husband got married. Like they got divorced and then they had somebody, then they got divorced, and then like she married my dad. She married my dad after my mom died, and it was me, my brother. I'm the youngest, so it was me, my brother, and my sister. Like we had the same mom and dad, and then my mom died, and my dad got remarried to my stepmom, right? But she was like a typical stepmom. I'm not even kidding. Like she'd be like, she would say she'll like buy my daughter, blah 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 blah. Like I'm only taking my daughter away, blah blah. Like I'm not I'm not making this shit up. I didn't know that shit. Like that's just
Right?
how
She
she
never.
was at the time.
So
She
so like
like,
so
this
like
is my
Tyler.
kid, and I can only take care of my kid. And blah, blah, blah.
So
Like
she
she
never
would
viewed you
do
as a
stuff for us
son.
every now and then, but then she'd be like, she would tell my dad, like whenever they would argue and shit, she'd be like, your kids needed to do this, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like just typical stepmom shit,
See,
bro. Like,
Matthew, told you, Matthew, told you.
like I'm not saying that to be like because I hate her. I don't. I wish it wasn't like that. It is what it is. And I just like I have respect for her as a mom because she is a mom. She has a daughter, you know, and that's my stepsister. But like that's it. That's as far as that goes.
Yeah, but Michi, you can't really say that because I just gave you a prime example of like an actual good relationship.
No, no,
I'm
right. You did, but I told you, basically, other families they're not like that because they only claim what's theirs, like what's actually theirs. Like they
yeah
stick to it. Like they don't
yeah
see other children. Like say like Tyler's situation. His stepmom never viewed him as a son to
no
her.
see brother, I'm not blind to reality. You know what I mean? I just and I'm not saying I'm not arguing with it. I'm not saying anything. I mean maybe he did have that kind of life, and I'm sure he did. But it's one of the things where I'm trying to tell you, all of you guys, the opposite. Where me and my fiance actually turned around and we've made this thing work. We are together. We raised our kids. We did it together, even though two of them are not mine. And she doesn't treat my kids any differently than she treats hers. Like I mean it we made this work for 16 years and we're still going, you
And
know?
I congratulated you earlier, did I not? I said
Yeah,
congratulations.
no, I know you did, but I'm more talking like Tyler on his end, like just, dude, I'm sorry that you, well, he backed out now, but I'm sorry for him that
He'll
he
be
had to
back.
go.
Hopefully, he'll be back. But like Matthew, like hold that thought real quick. Booney, what up, bro? Like, what's your take on the prompt?
How you doing, brother?
What up?
Why does society celebrate mothers more than fathers? I mean, even this government system can be simps, man. Uh, they, the government really pushed the agenda, though, right? And then once the government pushes the agenda, it automatically triples down to the society, right? Uh, what's so crazy is though we can say society, right? You know what I'm saying? Celebrate mothers more than fathers, like the government pushed it though, man. I mean, it's simple. It's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got a lot of women claiming this independent shit, right? And not all of them on the working side of things, right? You got most of them that's being taken care of by the government, so it's easy for them to keep the father out the house, right? So when you do that, you eliminate the structure out the home. You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
agree. I'll agree with that, dude. I'll agree with that.
Thank you, brother. Uh, and when you say things like that, and sometimes, Matthew, you got to ask these women, do you know what structure means? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you know the difference when a man using this tone, whether it's passionate or aggressive? You know what I'm saying? They
yeah.
they don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like it's too much of a war agenda that's going on. Uh, just like at Father's Day come right now, you know a mother gonna yell on the mother and the father. The one day the men's get after you, y'all destroyed it. A man' birthday can't even be celebrated upon himself because she's gonna plan it and she got to be in the video. She worse than P Diddy.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's the P.
No, no,
Diddy.
no.
Yo.
I get it, dude. I get exactly what he's saying. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Oh, I
But
know. I
don't get it
agree, man.
twisted. I love the women though. Don't get it twisted. But I mean, call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about trying to fix the community, but at the same time, You can't fix it with a bunch of unhealed people. You know what I'm saying? You can't. The man can be held accountable too, because I believe we need to have more discipline with ourselves. We need to stop for the men. They be pacifying women, right? Like, stop letting them think what they got between their leg hold more value to us, because it shouldn't. And if it do, then man, you need to start having discipline.
Yeah, it's true.
No, it is true. It is
Because
true.
if it wasn't true, then a lot of these women won't think the way they think. You know what I'm saying? Because what you ain't going for, Matthew, and what you ain't going for, Z, or what Meech ain't going through, what you ain't gonna do, this guess what they gonna say? Well, the next man will. They know what a sucker's at.
Well,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
Wait. I wanted. I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to get like Kimberly involved, and then Matthew or Champion. Y'all can take it
Oh,
away.
my bad, my bad. I'm
But
out of it.
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
good.
Booney. So you was what? Was you finished, Booney?
Yeah, I'm gonna let them get some of this extra.
Okay, Kimberly. Like, it's on you now.
Alrighty. I do kind of feel like I do kind of see what you guys are saying. I feel like it's more on a systemic level. You know what I mean? Like fathers. I mean, what am I trying to say? Statistically, it's harder for single fathers to get support and to get help from the government when they do need it. Custody does tend to be awarded to mothers automatically unless fathers go and fight it in court themselves, as in take her to court. So I do kind of get what you're saying. I am a little curious because I won't say that I've experienced everything or know everything. I definitely don't. But
You
at
should
least
speak on it.
what I personally see is that, like, for example, like if a single dad is out at the grocery store versus a mom or even a married couple, say a dad's out the grocery store with his kids versus a mom out at the grocery store, I did notice like dads seem to get more claps for doing simple things, if that makes sense. But you guys have a different kind of experience, if that makes sense.
we just as fathers we have a different type of relationship with our kids. I mean, it just I
I'm
don't.
not a father. I'm just a son.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say, yeah, I absolutely agree with what she said, right? But I'll tell you the psychological part of it, so you can go and finish on driving, Miss Kimberly. What that is who compliment the man that's in the grocery store with his children. It's the single mother that's looking like, damn, I wish my children's father was like that. Before I
Yes,
ran him out
yes,
the home and chose the
cor-
government over him.
cor-
That's true.
I
no,
feel like
correct,
I
correct,
even
correct
see.
answer.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, I just said correct answer. I was agreeing with
Them
him.
the ones that compliment that.
I feel like even when it comes to like social media and stuff, I do, and again, that's like based on my algorithm, right? I do tend to see on posts where single mothers are posting that they get bashed more for being single than a father does, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Like I'll see the dads, people will be like, oh, good job and stuff like that. But then people will be like, well, single mothers are the downfall of everything. And you're single because you're whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also at the same time, there's a reason behind that. I mean, there was. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk in any way at all, but there are a lot of single women that like to lay on their back, and then next thing you know, they have all these kids and stuff, and they got 3 or 4 different kids' dads and stuff. And I've already experienced that in my life myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah. So
and
I mean,
just and yeah, that's not saying anything bad about you. I'm not attacking you like personally. I'm just saying like it's reality nowadays. It's reality,
Mm-hmm.
and just I don't care what race you are. I don't care if you're white or black. I don't care what you are. You know, just anyway.
It's
You
going on, point
yeah,
blank period.
it's going on. Yes, and just
yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I mean, I think that after one child, you should be self-evaluating and trying to figure out, hey, what went wrong and trying not to repeat those patterns. I do also feel like I do see dads with a bunch of children all over the place. And I also do know, right? Like, because I think I even see it in aspects with like single moms, you know, like who were married at one point. And, you know, I mean, that happened to my ex-fiance's mom. She was married to a guy, and then one night while they were sleeping, he just disappeared. And apparently he did it to like 10 plus women, like would marry them, have a child with them, and then disappear
Well,
after the
Kimberly,
baby was born.
well,
So
Kimberly, you said men can have a lot of children. It's meant for men to have a lot of children, especially kind of by different women.
I mean, I don't really agree with that. I think it's best for
That's
the
because you
child to
believe in the
procreate in
way
one
America
single
structures
household
things.
and then to have a nuclear household, because I think that women and men are different and serve different purposes. So it's important to have a stable household with both parents involved. Do you guys disagree?
Correct answer.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about that.
See, Kimberly, I'm gonna tell you what the other problem is. You said the correct answer for sure, but I'm so used to y'all doing that because y'all can say this, but y'all action never matches y'all words. Same thing for me. I hold them accountable just as well. But when you're not looking at your own gender, you can't come picking on my gender.
But
You
I'm
know what I'm
not,
saying?
yeah, I'm not trying to pick on
No,
anyone.
no,
I'm
no.
just saying,
I'm not saying you doing that. Just listen.
okay.
Just listen. Because that's one of the problems right there. When the man's talking, the woman is never supposed to over talk him. Whether I'm your man or not, it's just your respect for men. You know what I'm saying? This world wouldn't be nothing without men. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? It was built off our backs. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for a simp to give you a position because he's specializing you and he want to move you up.
Correct.
It's too much of that going on. You probably be dumber than a box of rocks, but he moves you up based off how you look. That's why I said men should start having discipline. Then when like you can't if they made the world with just straight women, right? They eliminate all the men's off the planet. It's gonna be in chaos out here. Cause y'all don't
Correct.
even like each other.
Correct.
Y'all don't even like each other. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that
So
1,000 times.
what'd you say, Z?
I said I've seen that 1,000 times, man. I know
Right. You
exactly what
can't
you're
even
talking
just sit
about.
them in the room. Watch. Just look at baddies. I don't even watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I remember seeing a clip on that jump before. Like they can't just sit in the room long. They don't like each other. But soon when it's time to gang up on me, it's on. You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys ever watch them the Hodge twins?
Yeah.
What is that?
Hodge twins.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I
That
don't watch
it's
bodies either.
Yeah.
I don't know
well,
what that
it's
is.
I don't
so
watch that stuff, so I wouldn't know. See,
okay.
that's another thing they're missing out here, though, man. Through that TV, the music they putting out.
Well, no, you'll see it on TikTok and stuff too. But
Yeah, they're not
they're two black men who are twins, and basically they have a podcast of like just talking about what's wrong with the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I love listening to them dudes. I
Those
absolutely
guys are
love it.
pretty
Yeah,
excellent.
I might check them out. See, I like that. I like that type of shit, education purpose shit.
I
I like
watch
it.
them all the time, man.
Yeah,
I won't.
yeah,
I won't
okay,
check them
dude. So
out. I won't check
you
them
know what
out
I'm
because
talking
I
about.
got a show to run.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they got a lot of
but
good points, man.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a personal believer in holding everyone accountable. I hold women accountable all the time. I have gotten called like a pick me and stuff because of it, whatever. I don't really care. It's just like at the end of the day, it's clear to me that there is a deep-seated issue going on, and I've noticed that women who claim to be heterosexual can't even have productive conversations with the opposite gender. They're
correct.
automatically projecting, automatically
Because their
disrespectful. They
emotions will
don't
get
know how
Yes.
involved.
to
No, correct.
even reverence their husbands properly, which is something that I had to learn as a woman as well. But just kind of even how you speak to men. Men don't like if you start addressing them in a masculine way. I mean, they're gonna address you like you're a
A
man.
man.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yes.
Yep. I'm like, talk to me like a man, woman. You know, it's not gonna end well for you because,
Yep. Eight
like,
years of
dude,
rest.
I
8
will
years of
wreck your
wrestling. 5
life.
years of martial arts. Please come. Yeah, please come do
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
And then when you do it though, right? This is what happened. I'm a
mhm.
girl.
Yeah, yeah. Why you just punch
I don't
me
even
in?
have to lay
Why you
hands
just
on.
punch
I
me in
know
the
the
face?
psychological
Why you
game.
just
You
punch
know.
me in the face? Yeah, just Kim. Can I tell you? I've explained. I was it Boone or I can't see your name. Anyway, I
His
explained
his name is Booney.
You
Booney.
can
There you
say
go.
bone or
Okay.
bone it, either one.
Yeah. Well, either way, I was explaining to the host, and I was explaining to Z up here that like, okay, me and my lady, we're engaged, okay, and we've been together for 16 years, and we don't have any children together. She has two, and I have two, and I thank God every day that we found each other, because man, it's like this. I'm 44 and she's 42, and like now our old kids are raised and out of the house and stuff, but like when it comes down to what Kim was saying, like more or less, like I I've done my job now. I'm not saying as an adult that like because my kids are raised and out of the house, I'm not saying that my job is necessarily done. But like throughout these last 16 years, I helped her raise hers, and she helped me raise mine. And so it just I don't know what to tell you younger folks in here. I don't know what to tell you because this world is turning to crap. It's not the same world that it used to be. But what I can tell you is that all four of our kids, they love each other. I mean, they treat each other like brothers and sisters, and I love that for all four of them. I absolutely love it. And that is not something that can be taught. That is flat out instinct. That's something that like you guys chose to have together. Like you all love each other, even though my fiance is 100% Mexican and I'm 100% white. But they love each other and they walk around every single day and they don't treat each other different. So Kim, when it comes to you, I don't know your age. I don't know anything about you, but I just hope that you just you gotta go with the flow. You know what I
Kimberly,
mean?
I believe like she's a young woman.
Yeah, I believe she is too, but well, no, looks like she disappeared. So whatever, it is what it is.
Just
But
when Meech was
Matthew,
ready, just when Meech was ready to pacify the situation.
nah,
Yo,
no, but for real, Booney. I asked Matthew a question earlier. Basically, since his children and her children, they're not bloodline. Like I asked him if like if like one of them got married to like one another, but he viewed it as weird. But I viewed it as it's kind of life since they're not bloodline, like from a bloodline standpoint.
and how did I respond to you? What I say to you?
Right? You said that that's not happening because they see themselves as a family. But I asked Booney, do you see anything wrong with that question?
Repeat the question one more time because I'm getting ready
Like,
for work.
okay, Booney, I asked Matthew, like, since his children and his fiance children are not related, I asked him, what if they get married to one another?
We're gonna start dating. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like what?
All right, what if they get married to one another? Then what?
Right, like, what do you think that like would it be weird? I mean, basically, like, I asked him how would you feel about that?
Basically, how would I feel? if they got married, he got 2 kids, she got 2 kids, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Now, how would I feel about it if they get married like that? Like,
If her,
what?
yeah, like,
Or,
yeah,
or,
like,
or even start dating. Or even start dating. Oh
right.
my god, man. I no.
Booney,
No.
like, do you think, like, do you see like something wrong with that picture, or do you think that it's okay since they're not bloodline?
You damn right. I think it's some. This why I think it's something wrong with it, Matthew.
Yep.
What
Yep.
are the benefits of being a stepfather?
Okay.
Just give me a straight shot answer.
Well, I'll make it short. I'll make it short.
Mm,
Their kids' dads decided to leave a long time ago.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah, yeah.
Flat out.
But did you hear his side of the story?
I've been there. Okay. When we got together, she was 29, or excuse me, I was 29 and she was 27.
Mm,
And that's when we turned around and we started raising our kids together. We
mm,
made that choice. We chose to do that. And
mm,
so it's one of the things where, and yes, both her kids looked at me. Yes, of course, I'm a stepfather,
mm,
but they looked at me like I'm dad because
mm,
her oldest daughter, who is now 24, her dad was a meth head, a cokehead, all kinds of shit, you know.
mm,
And then her son, now he's 19, and I've been helping raise him since he was 3 years old.
mm,
So it's kind of like it's one of the things. Well, no, I was dad. I am dad, you know,
mm,
and now they live in two different towns and stuff, and so do my kids too.
mm,
But it just it's one of the things where I mean we live together. We got a 1 acre acreage out here on the south side of town, and we got our go karts, we got our 4 wheelers. I mean, and now it's just me and her. And don't get me wrong, it is weird. It's weird that we have no kids running around this house anymore. It's weird as shit. But at the same time, I look at it like this: like we did our job as parents,
mm.
and I don't know what to say about it, man. I miss the kids being around here.
No phone, Daddy
I
meets. Okay. Let me go. Just cook this real quick so we can get straight to the meat and potatoes on her. Now listen, this is how I view that, right? I have no problem with a man trying to do stepdad. I'm gonna tell you, in my Ray Ray Pookie days, in my 20s, I'm 37 now. But in them days, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean I was this serious a bum nigga. Like, no, that ain't what I'm saying. I was very,
Mhm.
I was just very promiscuous, but I was a good man. I was just very promiscuous though, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a man's world. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? But now I take accountability for some of the things I did do back then, right? But what turned me that way is the question. You know what I'm saying? It started with my mother first, right? I
yep.
seen my mother. My mother had 4 different baby dads, 7 children, right?
Damn.
One of them was her husband.
That's a lot, dude.
One of
Yeah.
them was her husband, all right?
Mm-hmm.
She had me outside of the wedlock, boom. 2 more kids come behind it. He found out on our heels, you know what I'm saying? Woo, woo. He tell her, hey, look, I can't accept this baby. So therefore, she had to make a choice. She made a choice. Her and the other 3 children left. I had to go stay with my grandma. And by the time they separated, she came back for me when I was 12. So to sum this whole story up, like I ask you, what are the benefits of being a stepfather? In them 6 different situations that I've been in with women that got children, I have no access, no contact to these children. I put in all that work, birthdays, Christmas, activities, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Just because we break up, that has nothing to do with the bond that I made with these children.
You bet. Yep. Yep.
So if that's the case, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if you and that woman don't work out, you lose access to these children. You're gonna be painted as the villain. In most cases.
That's
Women.
true.
No. I'll agree with that. I completely 100%
So if
agree.
I got 6 different experiences that all turned out the same, then what are the benefits of being stepfather? There are not no benefits.
Well, when I became a stepdad, dude, all right, when I became a stepdad, these dumb, stupid SOBs, they decided to get on meth, they decided to get on coke, they decided to do a bunch of,
They never
you know,
respected you. You came in with structure, but the thing is, when you try to come in with structure and they not used to structure, it's
yeah,
not gonna work no way.
yeah, and why do you think they hate me? They can't stand me, even though I bought my sons, I bought his very first vehicle for him. I went and turned around, I bought all that shit, and I just, dude, it's hard to explain, and it's a
You
long
did all
story.
that for the love that you got for the woman. I'm not knocking
Yes,
you for that. But my thing is, I got my 2 kids, you got your 2 kids. Now, once we kick in a bloodline in this, then that's a whole nother story.
yes,
I'm not finna put myself in the shoes
okay.
because at the same
Well,
time, like I told you, you should get an understanding because it's always 2 sides to a story. In the middle of somewhere lies the truth. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
Women do not take accountability. You see how easy I just told you I had Pookie Ray Ray days, this, that. Now how many women we can get in this panel and just say, yeah, back in my whole days, you
Yeah,
won't
but
get
see,
none.
my wife or my fiance, she's only been with 3 different men. Me and her 2 kids' dads. My woman is not a
Damn.
yeah, she's not a slut, if you want to call it that.
So she have
Hold on.
2 baby dads.
She has 2 baby dads. Yeah, I mean she
Well,
is
I
a
ain't bad as my mom. My mom got 4 different meat sticks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So there you go. I mean, your mom was a at least honest woman, at least to a point. I mean,
Man, look, I don't sugarcoat shit. She was a hoe.
she. Oh, I thought I thought you
I
said
love
she
her
was only
though.
with
I
four
still
different
love
men.
her. You know what I'm
We
saying?
gotta
I
call a
love her.
spade a
That's probably
spade.
why. That's probably
Now,
why back then I loved hoes. I seen her act out in hoe characteristics.
now, Matthew, we gotta call a spade a spade.
Okay,
Now,
sorry, my bad.
now,
My
like,
bad.
now, like, I felt like your fiance kid's father. I feel like they have a right to be in their children's life. But I
Yes,
feel
they
like
are.
Matthew,
They
you're
are.
coming in between that.
So, dude, okay, it's a long story, and I keep telling you that like I want to hear more of your guys' side stories. If I want to sit here and talk, you guys be listening
Okay,
to me
wait,
for the
wait, wait,
next
wait.
hour.
Okay.
You'd be
So
listening to
you
me the
want
next
me?
hour. You
Okay,
know.
so you want me? Okay, so you want me or Kimberly or Champion to tell our story?
Yeah.
Or
Yes. Go ahead.
well,
Somebody
okay,
else.
well,
Somebody else talk for once. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, like Matthew, my mother, she was a single mother, and but see, I don't want to. I just keep it on a certain level because I don't want to do no personal shit. But basically, my mother is a single mother of 4. But I say a few personal shit. Well, basically,
You
my
you tell me
father,
you tell me you tell me what you want to tell me. Tell me what you want to tell me. How about that?
my father,
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
I don't like. I was on the phone with him, but because I'm in my 30s, I
Okay.
couldn't recall what he sounded like. So the last time I saw him, I was a kiddo, probably elementary, but I don't look nothing like him. So I don't think that he's even my dad, anyways. But my mom, she did what she had to do. But when I got older, I read through the bullshit and I was feminized, meaning I took her damn energy, what they call it, like the woman's energy, like the feminist energy. I
Yeah,
took that
femininity.
in
Yes,
into my
yes.
damn teenagers, into my 20s, and I felt fucking awful because I'm like, damn, this ain't making sense. Like, why I can't hold conversations with niggas and I'm a nigga? Why I can't? So I'm like, damn, it's because no father, and also I was basically her soldier. So I viewed it as what she say go and what she say is right, and that was the bullshit behind it.
How
So
how how
Matthew,
how 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 was your
I had
mom?
to
Hold on, let him finish, Matthew.
let
Yeah,
him
sorry. Go
Matthew.
ahead.
Remember, I'm only telling you pennies worth because I'm not gonna be like Tyler. I mean, like I'm not gonna be like I can't give you my life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only
No,
giving you
I've
pennies
given
worth.
you my life. I've given
That's
you my
you.
whole entire life.
We different. I'm giving you pennies worth. So please be thankful that I'm giving you pennies worth because I never told nobody this on my life, and I made tons of videos. Now, back what I was saying before you
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
cut me off.
Sorry.
Damn, like
Sorry.
Booty, like what I was saying before Matthew cut me off.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why I don't allow interruption, period.
Fuck,
Cause
I
I
feel
You
you.
were you were talking about how your energy had become feminized and you were kind of like your mother's
there
soldier.
we go. You was in the
So
Right,
you was breaking
exactly.
that
Thank
down.
you, Kimberly, my love. Thank you. Right. Because based off her, because she was a quote unquote general, because it was no king in the house.
No structure.
So, and I had to figure out how to be a man. And this is the weird part. I had to figure out how to be a man's man. So I had to distance myself from a mental standpoint. I had to distance myself from her from a mental standpoint. And so when I was surrounded by other men, just off conversations and me just, okay. And I was graduating from that. But Matthew, the difference between me and you, I would never be with a woman that have children and take on that responsibility because that's not, I can't raise bloodline that's not mine. And fuck it, now I'm gonna tell you a quarter of my life. I'm gonna keep it a quarter. I'm not gonna tell you dollars of my life. I just tell you a quarter. Matthew, you don't know what it feels like to be whooped, to be beaten by niggas that's not your father. That's not my bloodline. I was being whooped by them. So that's why I can't play them games and take on children that's not mine. I can't put my hands on children that's not mine. And this is a quarter of my life. And a quarter ain't shit because I'm barely telling you, all right? Now, Matthew, you can respond, and then after you respond, it's on Kimberly.
I was gonna say I'm staying quiet. You asked me to let you talk, so
Yes, I did. I told you a quarter of my life, by the way.
yeah. No, and I appreciate that, dude. I really do. You know, and actually let Kimberly go, and I'll respond
And you
to
should at
you.
least and you should at least give me a galaxy for that.
Honestly, dude, I keep trying to recharge like what I have on my TikTok, and I can't. It's not hooking up to my checking account. So otherwise, I would. I really would. I mean it. I'm not joking around. But
Kimberly, it's your go, my love.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, thank you for being vulnerable with us. Second of all, that sounds a lot
And I
like,
wasn't vulnerable, but continue.
well, maybe we view vulnerability differently. I just view that as sharing, like if I share anything, that's how I view it, but I know everybody views that differently. Um, but yeah, so that sounds a lot like my ex-fiance's story. He had a stepdad. As I told you guys before, his biological father just kind of upped and left in the middle of the night. and he had a stepdad who would DV him. And it really wasn't good. And I'm not talking about normal whippings, but would just straight up like DV him. And I think that's something that he really had to teach himself how to be a man. And I witnessed during our relationship kind of like the product of those things, because I understood his respect and reverence for his mother, but I recognized how much the way that she had treated him and kind of the things that she had taught him had, to an extent at least, tainted him. She definitely did the best that she could, but he just didn't he didn't really know who he was. He didn't have his own voice. He was very much in a disempowered kind of state. And it was really sad to see, and I don't judge him for it. But it was just very, very difficult for him to overcome. He dealt with a lot of shame and a lot of just kind of like identity issues. And as I was seeing him kind of break away from certain things so he could become the man of the household, I think he even felt bad for that, because he experienced a lot of shame from his mother, because his mother was so used to him being like a little soldier for her all the time, and jumping when she said jump and asking how high. And kind of taking everything that was thrown at him.
Can I ask you? I don't know what DV means. I don't know.
Like a ABUSER.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't know what that meant. So
yeah, you're fine. Gotta clarify sometimes.
I'm an old man. I'm a 44-year-old man. I don't know all these.
You're young, Matthew. Stop saying you're old. You're young. You're in your 40s. You're young.
No.
Yeah.
Tell my body that. But
well, like go in the gym, shit.
If you're old, my parents are ancient. My parents are almost 80 years old.
Well, my mom is 74, my dad's 75. So and my mom walks around at a 74-year-old woman. It's an oxygen tank. Anyway, you were supposed to keep going. You were telling your story.
Yeah,
sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Sorry.
I have ADHD myself, so I'm used to like bouncing all over the place in conversations.
So Matthew, you can reply to either what I said or you can reply to what Kimberly said.
No, I told you I want to reply to you. Well, is she? Kimberly, you done?
Yeah, I can stop there.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. I can always.
She said like she was finished.
Okay, all right. Dude, remember, okay. Remember when we talked about earlier about how my fiance's parents died at a young age? Okay. Her mom died at 45 and her dad died at 47. You know, I can't sit around here and I dude, it's like this. You know, like I'm lucky enough to still have my 74 and 75-year-old mom around. But you're only, I can't really get in depth with you because you're giving me pennies. You said that earlier. You're already giving me pennies.
Facts. Wait. I'm gonna correct you. Real quick. Facts. I said I was giving you pennies because I told you I didn't want to do like my personal shit, but I did. I raised it up a notch. Did I not say now I'm giving you quarters?
Yes, and okay, you did say that. Yes. But see, okay, well, here's the difference, is that I gave you my whole entire life story. And no, I don't necessarily like doing that online. I don't.
And Matthew, but I appreciate that, but at the same time, you didn't have to, so that was your decision, respectfully.
Yes, and I know it was. I mean, I know it was. I'm not, you know, it was me, but here's the deal on it, okay? Flat out, that, like, I can't truly give you an opinion, like, from me, if you don't actually, like, open up to me and talk to me, like, give me reality, you know, like, it.
I can tell my life story if you guys want.
Yes, my love, you can do that. Matthew,
Well,
he would love
that
that.
is 100% up to you. That is and I see our dude left us too. I was wanting to hear a little bit more of
No,
his story.
he said he's coming back in champion. Well, Z said he's coming back, but AKA
Okay.
champion. They both
Yeah.
said they're coming back. But like Kimberly, Matthew, he would love for you to tell your life story because he had me tell my life story a little bit.
No, a little bit, a quarter
It don't
size.
matter.
Yeah.
I told it. Kimberly, my love, is your go. You can tell your life story.
Okay, so I did grow up in a two-parent household. I was fortunate enough to be adopted when I was like 3 months old. My birth parents, however, were a hot mess. I'll get into that later. I do love them, but they were a hot mess. Um, so my parents are older, obviously. I am 27 years old. My parents are in their 70s, so they adopted me at 40 something ish, 50 something ish. Um, and I think my household life was kind of stable. I did deal with some kind of like, I don't know, like my I did deal with some like narcissistic DV from my mom. And I grew up with a dad who was very disempowered. I mean, don't get me wrong, he did his dirt. But that was before I got there. But when I got there, he was very
You said a
disempowered.
stepdad?
No, this is my adoptive dad. So
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
just
oh,
call them, yeah,
adopted.
I
Yeah.
view them as
Okay.
dad and mom because they're the only parents I've ever known.
Okay.
Um,
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're fine. Um, but my dad, from what I can remember, he was when I was younger, he was very, very angry. He would like flip tables over and throw stuff around. He would get mad a lot and kind of, just he had a temper on him. But as I got older, he became very disempowered and very quiet. And I think my mom became very masculinized. So that was something that I really had to work to unlearn as I got older. Um, but when I left the house, I had a traumatic experience with a man. I'm not going to get into it, but like something that unfortunately a lot of women do go through in their
Protect your
college
story,
years.
but you can always like DM me that part. But you can protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean, there's nothing that anyone could honestly say about it, or I mean, hold it like you know what I mean. Like it just is what it is. I've told it on lives so many times. But
I'm assuming. I'm assuming I know what you're talking about, but it happened to my middle sister too. So
yeah, yeah.
Like Kimberly, like real quick. When you say your dad or your mom, can you say your AP, meaning your adopted mom, or like your adopted parents?
Yeah, I can. It's just like because I was adopted at 3 months, so that's kind of why, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so I went through that my freshman year of college, and I incurred a lot of trauma from that. I did try to date a guy after that. He was a diagnosed sociopath. I don't know why I did that. He kind of did seem like a sweet guy, but he definitely had his problems. I think we ended up probably breaking up, and I slick turned to women for a while. Um,
He
so
made you turn to women. Wow.
no, it wasn't him. It was just like the trauma. It was kind of him, but it was also the trauma. And also like when I tried to like break up with him, he tried to like I don't know, like he put his hands around my neck and did some weird stuff. So anyway, um,
didn't you say you have ADHD from this too?
mhm, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I do. And I
Or PTSD.
I
In other
do.
words.
I also have that actually. I have PTSD and CPTSD, or those were my diagnoses. But yeah, one was from the chronic childhood stuff, and the other one was from what happened to me my freshman year. I turned to women for a long time until I met one guy who kind of changed my perspective because I was definitely a man hater. Um,
Yep. Yep.
But after I met him, he was kind of just coming out of a DV relationship where he was dealing with a woman who was very crazy and manipulative. He was very traumatized from that. And he was kind of still in and out of it. So I ended up separating myself from him in my desperation to be loved I went to another guy who turned into my ex-fiance. That wasn't a great situation either. Don't recommend trauma bonding with people for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
We
Correct.
literally, when we met, we bonded over like drinking and like, you know, smoking and all that type of stuff. And
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it wasn't good. We were together for like 5 years. And he had some things
And you
that he
and, and
needed to
you
deal
you said you're 27, right?
with.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
I
right.
met
Yeah.
him, I think at what, 20, 20, 21 ish. And then I met the guy that I'm currently with, and that's kind of my story. The last
And,
guy
and how
was
long you
like
guys been together?
we've only been together for I think less than a year. It's actually, so the guy that I'm with now is the same guy that I met in college that made me not hate men.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, so like that was your best friend at first.
Yeah. He
So,
actually made it known to me afterward that he intentionally pursued me.
so
And
Kimberly, I
he
gotta say
just,
this. I have to say this real quick. You overlooked him, and he was probably your option B or C.
no, he was my first option. He just wasn't ready. He was still dealing with his ex. Like his ex was like in and out of his life a lot. She started hitting me up and harassing me because he posted me one day on his story when I went to him with a job interview. She was like threatening me. It was just like a lot of mess, and I just couldn't deal with it because it kept happening all the time.
I get
Oh,
that.
I thought you
Yeah.
said.
I get that.
I
Yep.
thought she said, Kimberly. My bad, Matthew. Like real quick, Kimberly. I thought you said he pursued you, but you didn't like. You didn't see his pursuing, or you didn't trip off. You know.
So he did pursue me, but then he got kind of caught up in his past again
And
because she
Matthew, my
started
bad.
harassing me and
No,
harassing
no, dude,
him.
brother, you're right. You're good, man. I'm
So,
just piping in here and there
Right,
with.
right, right,
I
right,
mean,
right, 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 right. That's why,
yeah.
like, I don't mind that. So that's why I said, like, real quick. But yeah, like now that you could chime in because I don't want to cut you off.
Well, just no. I really I usually say correct if I agree with you. I say correct if it, I'm talking to her too. I'm saying I'm speaking in general is what I'm doing. So you know, just
Well, back to Kimberly.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he did intentionally pursue me, and I was honestly super madly in love with him. But when we both started getting harassed, he kind of, because he had an avoidant attachment style anyway, he had a lot of trauma, so he kind of started acting funny, and I just couldn't deal with the funny acting. And I just was like, okay, like, it is what it is. Um, I'm not gonna involve myself because, especially like I had a woman hitting me up and being like, telling me conflicting things and being like, oh, we've been together this whole time. And he's like, no, we genuinely haven't, like, and then she's like, I'm gonna unalive myself because da 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 da. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that kind of person who's like
Hey,
hurting someone.
hey, really quick. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, sure.
Um, what do you consider a man that you want? You know what I mean? Like if you had to sit down right now and write it down on a piece of paper, what kind of man would you actually like look for? Like what do his traits need to be?
Integrity, intellect, honesty, honor. I'm
Okay.
looking mostly for character. But also for me, it's very important that we connect on an intellectual level. I need his brain to work as fast and preferably faster than mine because my
real,
brain
Can,
works
can I,
way.
real quick, my bad, like Matthew. Real quick. Quick question, Kimberly. So, like, none of those things you said was sexually. So you don't want a man that's sexually attractive.
I think that's kind of on the lower end of my list. I feel like a body is something that you can learn, but also maybe it's because I haven't been with that many men. I haven't really had like a dissatisfying experience, if that makes sense. I think if you stay with somebody long enough, and especially if you know their mind and you know how they work, you know their
Correct.
personality, you can kind of learn
Correct.
those things. So for me, I never build my relationship foundation on Smex because I think that's the problem with so many relationships today. You get so caught up. I hear so many women, they're like, excuse my language, kind of, I don't want to say it, it's kind of dirty, but they're like peen-matized, you know?
A lot of women
And
love men that's eye candy. Like, don't they say that word eye candy a lot?
oh yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
I definitely feel like I've only I've only been
Hate
in.
Jews, hate faggots, hate niggers, nigger, 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 nigger.
Thank you for
Wow.
your input. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, like I'm happy you had
Wow.
a place to let it out, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've dated anyone who was unattractive to me, but if I've ever gotten in a relationship, I don't know why all my relationships start like this. And I guess I'm more so speaking because I've been with like women longer than I've been with men, if that makes sense. And I don't
Come
date
on,
women anymore at
Kimberly, my
all.
love. Kimberly, my
But
love. So it's like you're playing games in relationships. Like you're juggling women and men.
no,
Like
I don't deal with women
you might
anymore.
as well. So you just
I was gonna say you kind of. Yeah.
It's just
I
what
mean,
my
darling, you gotta figure it out. I mean, you
no,
gotta
like
figure it out.
I don't like
I mean,
women anymore. It was just a trauma response. So what happened to me happened in freshman year of college, and then I dealt with women, and then I realized, wait a second,
when's the last time you been with a woman?
over 6 years ago. Oh wait,
Okay.
wait, 5 to 6. It was before my
oh,
first
your
quote unquote
22nd.
real relationship. So
So
I think I was
you
maybe
said you're
19,
27. You're
20.
27 now currently, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
the
so I was
last time she
19,
been with
20
a woman, she
then.
was either 21 or 22 years old.
Yeah.
No, I was
Yes.
19, 20 because
Yes.
I had my son at 21. And I didn't deal with a woman
Congrats,
during
my
that
love.
relationship at all.
Congrats on your son, my love.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was whenever before my ex.
Okay. So what are you actively doing?
Dealing with a man.
So, Kimberly. So, is your current man? Is he playing stepdad?
Um, yeah.
Yes. That's dangerous, my love. That's dangerous.
Well, I feel like it's important when that's what I was gonna say. I know the other guy's not here anymore, but if you are gonna date a woman with children, you have to make sure that she is okay with you stepping into that disciplinary role. And the father of my child, my ex-fiance, and him have an understanding. But we also like co-parent 50-50, you know.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so we're all in one accordance when it comes to discipline and how that looks. I also don't, no hands get put on my son at all. We're
Okay.
fortunate enough to have a son who doesn't necessarily need that kind of stuff for discipline.
Yes. Yes. And
Okay.
that's where I'm there with you. Okay. For one thing, I don't remember you remember me saying it or not, but I've been with my fiance for 16 years. And in 16 years, I'm a 44-year-old man. She's 42. I've never once put my hand on her kids. Not
You
one time.
lying. You lying. For real?
No, incorrect. I don't. Dude. It's like this. These kids have the utmost respect for me. Rather than engaging them that way, like they come up and they talk to me. They have a conversation with me, like what all three of us are doing right now. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. They love me, even though their parents were pieces of crap to them. They don't they don't approach me like that. Even when they're in trouble. Even when they're in trouble, they all right, Matt. So okay, how can I fix this? Like they actually sit down and like talk to me. Hell, we sit down and we have conversations before they moved out of my house. They actually had a conversation with me like, hey, what sounds good for supper tonight? Can we have steak or can we have hamburgers? Can we have chicken? Like, I mean, they physically sit down and like talk to me as a normal human being. They talk to me. And even though that is my woman's 2 kids, and then I have my 2 kids, my woman sat down and she talked to my kids too. And now our youngest is 18. And now they're all out of the house. But what the coolest part about it is that we talk every day, and we don't fight, we don't argue, we don't do any of that stuff. I mean, hell, Gloria's oldest is 45 minutes from me.
Damn.
You know, like it just we have a conversation as a family, and we talk.
And Matthew,
Yeah.
like Kimberly, real quick, Matthew.
Yeah.
I congratulate you for not putting your hands on her children that's not bloodline yours. And so I salute that and congrats on that. Kimberly, I guess like you can go.
Yeah, I grew up in a household where I didn't really get, I think I got spankings probably when I was younger, but they didn't put their hands on me when I got older. I think my dad might have tapped my hand one time when I was being a little mouthy, and then he slicked looked like he was gonna cry because he's never had to do that before. So I also kind of like, that's kind of where I'm modeling my parenting style off of, because I did not sneak out the house. I wasn't going to parties. I wasn't doing crazy things. The worst thing they'd probably catch me doing, one thing I think I did disobey on a lot, was staying up and reading books, or reading books during classes where I already understood the information. But other than that, I didn't really get in trouble as a kid. And I noticed that a lot of kids, they just do need somebody to talk to. We're actually thinking about adopting his nephew, because his nephew's mom is like DVing the nephew, like doing really horrible stuff to him. And the dad is just kind of checked out. Like he's just kind of checked out.
But Kimberly, my love, you already been in that situation when you was adopted, and I was gonna ask you, do you keep in touch with your bloodline mother and father?
So with the
I'd
mom,
like to know the same thing.
yeah, with my mom, sometimes I don't really view her as a mom all the way.
But you came out of her, my love. That's your bloodline.
Yeah, just because I don't know her. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't speak to her until I was 21 years old for the first time.
Damn.
So, and she comes off as more she was 15 when she had me, and my biological
She was
sperm guy.
15 when she
my
had you.
biological sperm
So
guy.
she's Matthew age, correct?
She's in her, I don't know how old she is.
Mid-40s.
Yeah, maybe, possibly, probably. My biological sperm dad was what 25 or something like that.
What'd you say?
The biological sperm guy, he was 25.
Kimberly.
No,
I don't-
That's weird.
Hey,
That's
you're
weird.
you're allowed to call him that if he wasn't ever part of your life.
I'm saying like I respect that, but well, in a way, I'm just saying like it's just weird because Kimberly started off, she came out his
Oh, yeah.
God's
Yeah,
gift,
but
right?
he's not,
But
he's not a good guy. He's a
you
bad
call him a
man.
sperm.
Because he's
That's
a bad
blessing.
man.
You came out your father, and that's a
But
blessing.
but
I don't
technically
claim him. And
technically at
I'm
that
not going
time,
to get too
he'd
deep
be a
into
sperm
it, but
donor.
you guys will probably understand if I give you a little hint. He was a nasty man. Okay? He's a nasty man. He likes kids.
Whoa.
I don't claim him. I'm glad I don't know him. I don't claim him.
Do you look like him?
No. I look like my mom. All of my mom's kids look like my mom. Her genes are very strong.
And
I
that's
have
beautiful.
her nose, her lips, her square butt head. I have everything. I have everything.
And Kimberly, you can be nice and say that I wish my dad the best of luck and the best of well wishes.
Well, I do, but I need him to stop liking kids also. I
Whoa,
need him
whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
heal.
whoa, whoa. He's a struggling man in this world. Matthew, like, what's your take on what Kimberly said about her bloodline father?
What do you want me to say? I mean, it
Whatever
just
that's on your mind.
Whatever's on your mind.
okay. Well, we can go about it like this. Okay, remember I've been talking to both of you now about. Okay, there is no reason for that to begin with. For one thing, straight up, just that bothers me. Um, Second of all, I've talked to you guys about my kids. I've talked to you about my sisters. And actually, no, Kimberly, I don't think I talked to you about my sisters. But um, I actually had a brother at one point, and he decided to unalive himself.
Yeah.
And he did.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. I haven't talked to you about it either. So it's kind of like this, okay? I've been talking to you about me and my fiance. That's what I've been talking to both of you about. But like my actual like blood family, okay? My dad, my uncle Paul, so my dad's brother. My parents adopted him at one point, and he was using the M word.
Be out here for a while then.
Sweetheart, I'll be in just a minute.
I'm gonna turn these lights off.
Okay,
Not
all right.
gonna wait any longer.
Sorry, the fiance is bugging me.
She just loves you.
No, she wants me inside, and I get it. She works 6 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I work from 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night. So we work separate schedules. But anyway, getting back to, I call him my brother. I was 5 and he was 3. And he decided to unalive himself. Basically because my uncle and my aunt, they just treated him like shit. They were meth heads, they were coke heads, they were all that stuff. And so my parents adopted him. And he just, the tragedy that he had to go through in his life, he just couldn't figure out why his parents didn't love him. You know? And that's why this whole entire night, that's why I've been preaching to both of you about my wife, my fiance. She had 2 and I had 2. And being that we've been together for 16 years, why do you think I took care of her kids so hard? You know, like
I understand now. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, he was technically my cousin, but he was my brother. Like, we're the same blood, we're the same everything, and I just, so
Right,
when I got,
like you viewed him as a brother, right?
yes, correct. And so it's one of these things where, like, I know you have your problems, and I know Kim has her problems and stuff like that. You know what, dude? I turn around and, like, I sacrificed a lot of my life taking care of him. You know, my parents at that time, okay, we live in Nebraska, and we're farm kids, okay? And so it's one of the things, I taught him how to drive tractors. I taught him how to drive 4-wheelers and go-karts and, like, you know, things like this. I mean, like, it. And so when he moved in with me and my mom and dad and everything else, like, we taught him how to farm, you know, and we got food every year. You know what I mean? We got our tomatoes and our bell peppers and all that stuff. Like, I mean, But the biggest part about it is that he could not get over the fact that his mom and dad hated each other. And they were both on meth and coke and everything else. And he chose, even though he was happy with us, he chose to unalive himself because he couldn't figure out, like, why do my parents hate me so much?
Exactly, and that's the key. That's the whole key because everybody want and deserve a bloodline mother and a bloodline father,
Correct.
and to be loved and accepted by them. Like not no claiming shit. Like respectfully to you and Kimberly, respectfully, people naturally want a bloodline mother and a bloodline father together, positive, peaceful, and being raised by them.
And I'm sitting around here this day as a 44-year-old man. I'm lucky enough to have that.
But
I'm lucky enough to have that.
we
And
got
I'm
to
sorry.
debate this like Matthew. Like we have to debate this. We have to because that's a lie. You don't have that.
My parents literally live 3 blocks away from me.
No. I'm talking about the family that you created.
But I think the thing is, right, it just doesn't always work like that. Like that's just the unfortunate truth.
No,
And
and that's
what's
what I'm trying. That's what I'm
yeah,
trying to say
so
is that I'm fortunate.
yeah,
I'm
no,
fortunate. I've
and
lived. I've listened to both of your guys' stories, and I'm lucky enough to have that.
no,
And that's
yeah, and
beautiful.
all
And
I'm
that's
saying that to
beautiful.
say is that my my man's nephew, he does not want to be around his mother at all because she treats him like crap. The mom and dad are separated. The dad is living at his mom's house.
Yep.
And he's scared. He's scared to go back there. He's scared of his mom. He's scared. And when he's around me and when he's around his grandma, he's very calm. Like I noticed, like, yeah, he does have some behavioral issues and he also has anger problems. He's around 4 or 5 right now. And but I also noticed it's very easy for me to quote discipline him. And what I mean by discipline is correct him. If I say, hey, buddy, we're gonna either hold hands, you're gonna walk beside me in the store, or you're gonna have to be in the cart. He doesn't want to be in the cart. So he'll listen to what I'm saying. It's not necessary to exude force with him. It's not necessary to hurt him or to harm him, to get him to understand, because all he wants, all that child wants, is somebody to love him and care enough to discipline him. Because his dad, when he's around his dad won't feed him. I've had to get him food before. He'll just let him walk around all day. When he was younger, he used to walk all around all day in stinky diapers. So he at his young age, unfortunately, even though he shouldn't have to know this, he knows that all he wants is somebody who loves him and cares enough to correct him, to help him, to clean up his stinky butt sometimes, and to treat him with love and care and respect and give him patience. And I can see that he needs patience because he is so angry, and I understand why he's angry. He has a right to be angry. I don't hold that against him. And I know what it's like also to be angry, because even though I do love my adoptive parents, when I was younger, like I said, everything was not perfect in my particular household. And my mom, the way that she would kind of like say stuff sometimes, she'd be like, oh, I'm going to send you back to your birth family, knowing that they were kind of unstable and crazy.
Why would she say that?
She would be like, I am, what would she say? Sometimes you have to make your own family. I'm done, like you're old enough, you're 17, you're 16, you're old enough now to make your own family. I don't have to be your mom.
Do you realize how rude that is? Like, why would you ever say that to a child? Why would you ever do that?
Like Kimberly, was she trying to prepare you into womanhood?
No, she was offsetting her marital issues onto me. That was the problem. Her and my dad didn't get along very well. My dad was frustrated with the way that she chose to parent me, and part of that was on him as well. But she began to resent him a lot, and then she would blow up on me because
Yeah,
she
but
felt like
but
she was
but
doing
but, but
everything
what I'm saying
alone.
is using them words. Why would you use them words? I
Because
don't.
she was angry at herself and at my dad, and because my dad would not listen to her at all when she tried to express herself, and he's still like this to this day. If I try to say, hey dad, you were yelling earlier, would you mind maybe not yelling because it makes me a little nervous, he's gonna be like, I'm just a bad dad. He's gonna start like going into the whole victim thing, right?
Yeah,
um
yeah.
and she didn't have the safe space with him, so I became the target for everything that she was feeling all the time. And that's just kind of how it went. And it's not excusable, but I do understand why it happened.
No, I get it. I get it. He's upset. He was angry, and I just I told you guys earlier. Okay, with all my kids' stuff between her kids and my kids, I don't talk to them like that. I just don't. Hey, all you're doing at that point is you're instigating a fight. That's what you're doing. You're going to flat out be like, and they're going to back talk you, and then you're going to get pissed off, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to start yelling at them. What is the point? What is the point? And yeah. Anyway,
No, that's real, and that's kind of why I know his grandma's interested in adopting him as well. But I'm just a little weary about that, and it is a talk that I want to have with her, but I don't want to cross any boundaries. But one thing she will do if he is misbehaving is say, I'm going to send you back to Safi, which is his mom's name, knowing the things that he has endured at that household. And I think that can be a very dangerous thing because I was a child who was in and out of the hospital nearly every single year, sometimes twice a year, for suicide attempts because
Yep.
I did not understand
Whoa.
why the person who chose to adopt me was rejecting me.
So you're saying you had suicide attempts?
Yeah, like every year. So, and I used to mutilate as well.
And
And
what?
I,
Okay. Define mutilate.
No. Wait.
Yeah, we gotta be careful what we say on here. Yeah.
No. I'm saying you want her to to like define it, but she have to do it in a way that she can't say certain words.
Yeah.
um, how do I say it? You know what you guys cut your hair with?
Yeah. Razor. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So, um, because I didn't understand why somebody who I thought was supposed to love me was so cold toward me. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand why, because as a child, I was always trying to be the rock for the family. I was taking on the emotions of both parties, always trying to mitigate. My mom would always vent to me about everything. She would kind of put a weight on me that no child should ever have. And it was very confusing for me. And I felt like I was the problem because I was always hearing them arguing. I was always hearing them fighting. And I knew that my mom had resentment toward me. So I assumed that it would be better off if I just was not there at all. So I know what it feels like to have two dysfunctional parents who are not showing you the love and the emotional presence that you need. And I don't want that child to ever feel like a burden because he's not, his anger isn't his fault. He's 5, he's or 4, you know what I mean? Like his emotional dysregulation is not his fault. It is completely a result of the things that he's endured. And
So how are you trying to control that right now? I mean, like, what?
well, right now there's some custody things going on. His mom actually, he was with his grandma. And this is something that me and my man have been discussing, but he was with his grandma last. And the mom called the cops and said that her child was being withheld from her. And because his dad won't testify, which is something his mom is trying to encourage him to do, but his dad will not testify about the DV happening toward him and his son. It's a very difficult situation. So we have to go through a bunch of legal hoops to get everything rolling. And so I'm very concerned about the baby because he didn't ask to be here and none of this is his fault. And I don't think he should be threatened with having to go back to the household that hurt him as a way to get him to behave himself. If you're going to work with a child with trauma, then you need to understand how trauma works, how it manifests, and understand how to properly deal with it because he's dealt with enough shame, he's dealt with enough blame, and he doesn't need that. And that's a conversation I really want to have with.
Can I ask? Is he going to counseling?
No, he's not even in school.
Well, just okay. Yeah, you're right.
How
No,
old is
no.
he?
You told you.
How old
You
is
said
he?
that. Excuse me. You said that earlier. Sorry.
How old is he?
He's maybe 5.
Damn.
He's a very, very angry child. Like he will yell F you, he will hit people. He hasn't done it to me. I think it's because I'm very gentle with him and I know how to deal with an angry child because I was an angry child.
How often do you hold him?
Whenever he wants it. If he doesn't want it, I don't do it. But when he's angry and stuff,
That's
I'm
when
a
you do
big,
it.
yeah, like I'm big on co-regulating. So when he's yelling, when he's screaming, when he's cussing, I don't shame him. I don't make him feel bad. I get down on his level. I ask him, "What's going on? I see that you're angry. What's wrong? Talk to me about it." I let him talk to me about it. He'll literally calm down. He won't cuss. And then eventually, after we talk about it, I will validate whatever it is that he's feeling. I'll say, hey, what you're feeling is completely valid. You have a right to that. And I'm going to show you also, here's a better way to deal with it. Because when you deal with it the way that you're dealing with it, unfortunately, everybody's not going to understand it. Everyone's not going to receive it the same way. So I'm going to show you how to communicate and how to deal with those big feelings that you have because you have a right to feel that way. And eventually we'll go in for a hug.
But do he understand that he's only 5 years old?
Yeah. He responds perfectly. He's a great communicator. He's very, very, very perceptive. And that's something that unfortunately happens to children with a lot of complex trauma. That's the kind of child I was. He's very perceptive. He's very verbal. He communicates very well. He understands very well because he had to as a survival mechanism.
But see, Kimberly, my love, I gotta say this. You two are different because he's actually witnessing his bloodline mother and bloodline father.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
He haven't done that technically,
Correct.
so she only witnessed her adopting mother and father.
Well, the point is, right? Because after I finished disassociating from everything in my life,
Was she cut off, Kimberly?
Still there?
She's on pause. Maybe she's doing something.
can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened.
Well,
But
say like what you what you said. Wow, I guess something was up with your. But can you say what you said?
yeah, so I didn't understand, but for a long time in my life, I was very disassociated. I understood why I disassociated from the other years, but I just couldn't. I don't know how to explain it. But I grew up with a lot of nightmares, and in my nightmares, I would have nightmares about what my dad did while I was there. Does that make sense? I didn't know what I was dreaming about. I didn't have a face. It would always be like a shadow, but I knew it was a man. So I would have recurring nightmares up until the age of 14 that were really, really bad and really scary. I had to go to a psychiatrist and a psychologist for them because I just wouldn't sleep. I would avoid sleeping because of them.
Understood. Yes.
Yeah. So eventually, I came to understand after a lot of therapy and kind of my own religious practices what exactly was happening and what happened. So while I do not understand directly what happened to that child from his perspective, I understand from somebody who studies childhood developmental psychology, who's going into victims advocacy, and also from somebody who has had trauma from birth parents and who has had trauma from adoptive parents, how to deal with anger. You don't have to understand, like, for example, with my husband, I have not been through everything that he's been through. He grew up in the hood. I did not. I grew up in suburbia. I've been in suburbia my whole life. I'm a suburban girl. I've never been to the hood. Like, I don't understand from his perspective what happened, but we often like tell each other, like, you're the only person who gets me, because I understand how trauma works. I understand how emotions work. I understand why the things that he's been through have led him to be the way that he is. So I understand him very well from that perspective, if that makes sense. So we don't have to go through exactly what someone has been through. We just have to have enough compassion to want to understand those things.
Kimberly, my love, how long you been married?
Less than a year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful, because I know some women, they cycle through many men before they're able to find someone. And honestly, no offense to you guys, but men, talking to men really scares me. Like, I don't know, like, men can be kind of scary to me sometimes. So
Wait, have we not been good to you?
She had to.
Yeah.
You got to
I mean,
explain that. How can men be scary?
well, like I said, the first guy I ever dated was a diagnosed sociopath. So that was kind of on me, right? And then the last relationship I was in, he dealt with alcoholism, and there was a lot of cheating and a lot of on his end, and a lot of DV going on in that relationship. So I just haven't had and then my dad, like I said, he had a temper. So, and then what happened to me in college. So it's not obviously all men, but I've learned to be guarded.
yeah, yes. You've been traumatized. You've been traumatized, and that's okay. I mean, I you pick up what you're putting down. I mean, it is what it is. But you need to understand that, like I said, I've been telling both of you all night long that I've been in the same woman for 16 years. And you know what? One of these days, you're going to find a guy who, well, at least I hope you do. I mean,
She
it's
already,
not
like, she's married.
well, okay, but it sounds to me like, didn't you say earlier, you said something about, like, you guys are having your own issues and all that stuff too? Like, what
Well,
I
that
hear
was
earlier?
like 7-ish years ago.
Okay, all right.
So he has grown a lot. I have grown a lot.
And she's like happily married.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I'm
you're
happy.
now happily married, but
Yeah.
hey, okay, well, think about it like this. Okay, back in 2016, my old lady dropped me for about 4 months. She left me, and she decided to go back to one of her kids' dads. Okay, flat out. So then she turned around after 4 months later. She realized that she screwed up because she knows the money that I make. She also knows like what kind of person I am, and she realized she screwed up. She made a mistake and turned around, and yeah, that was in February of 2016.
Oh, so she begged for your forgiveness,
Correct answer.
and you
Yes.
took her back.
Correct answer. Yes.
Was she
So
crying?
I mean,
That
dude,
was she.
like we all make mistakes. Okay, we all make mistakes. We all do. But it's one of them things. Are you willing to forgive them?
Now,
Are you
nephew, I
willing
gotta
to?
ask you this. I gotta ask
Yeah,
you this. If the
yeah.
roles were reversed, would she take you back?
With the person that I am, okay, absolutely. I know she would because okay, dude. We talked earlier tonight. We talked about how she lost her mom at 45 and 47, right? And so she's made mistakes. I've made mistakes. And no, I did not cheat on her, and no, I didn't do any of that stuff, but during that time, that's when she lost her parents. That's when she lost them. She wasn't correct in the head, I guess you could say. She was not. And so, me as a man, I chose to forgive her. And, she's made it right every day since. She has. That woman, she'll bend over backwards for me. She'll do anything for me. And I love her for that fact. That even though she basically has no family on this planet besides her kids, I forgive her. I do, and it's my choice. That's something that I'm choosing to do as a 44-year-old man. That's what I'm choosing to do.
Yeah.
And she's never hurt me, and she's never done anything ever since 2016. She's
Matthew,
never done anything.
Kimberly, she wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it wasn't a question. It's just like, I think that people don't understand that when you're looking at relationships that actually have longevity, right? 30
Yep.
to 40 to 50 years, it's because
Yep.
they forgave each other. It's because it's not that they never had issues. It's not that they never got annoyed or got sick of some stuff or had their problems or maybe their arguments. It's not even that they might not have separated for a period of time, but it's that they both decided this love, you and me, us, is worth more. It is worth more to me than any argument that we're having. So
Yes,
a
ma'am.
lot of people
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
understand that what it takes to really make a marriage work is, and I think this is something that women really need to work to understand too. And it also goes back to reverencing and respecting the man and knowing how to talk to him. But it helps to know what helps you to get there is to understand it's not me versus him. It is us versus the problem all the time. You don't shame him. You don't blame. You don't attack. You say, babe, this is what I'm noticing. You don't say you're doing this. You say, I feel this. So say if you feel maybe you guys haven't been spending enough time together. Hey, babe, I want to spend more time together. Not you're not spending enough time with me. Da, 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 da. I want to spend more time together. Is there anything we can do to mitigate that right now?
Well, it's just no. You sit down as a couple. You sit down and just frickin' communicate. That's all you got to do. And that's why I said, why do you think we've lasted 16 years? Even though we've never had a child together, we turn around and like say back when the kids did live in the house, we have no kids in the house now. It's just strictly me and her. Okay, but it's one of the things where when we did have the kids here, I turn around and I'd look at her and I'd be like, hey, your son's acting like a jackass today, and I need you to being that he's not technically my kid, I need you to get that under control. And I would turn around and with my kids, I would turn around and I would do the same thing. I'd be like, if I would put my son and my daughter in check, like it just quit talking to her that way, quit doing this and that, whatever it might be, whatever the situation was.
Appreciate the heart me.
Do what?
No, I said I was talking to New Me. She gave me a heart me, so I just said appreciate the heart me. But you can continue.
Yeah. It's guys, it's weird because you got to make a choice. You have to commit. I mean, once you pick that person, and you flat out look at that person, you're like, hey, that's who I want to spend the rest of my life with.
But that's not easy. Like Matthew, that's not easy to do. And also, you said communication.
Yes.
Do you know how hard it is to communicate with the average woman, especially an American woman?
Yes, and I know you're in your 30s. You flat out told me that, and
Yes.
I'm in no way trying to call you a young kid, but compared to me, you
Matthew,
kind
be
of are.
respectful. Be respectful.
No, I know I'm being respectful.
And
I'm not.
I'm in my 30s.
I
But I
know
feel like women in their 30s are very different from women in their 40s,
they
honestly.
No,
do.
no, no,
They
no, no, no,
do
no, no,
start.
no, no. It don't matter if women in their 20s, in their 30s, and in their 40s. When they communicate, they want to control not just like the narrative, but just the overall conversation. They want to control it. What's that word? Manipulate.
Well,
Matthew, you're just fortunate, and
yeah,
congratulations
yeah,
that you're
yes, you're right.
fortunate.
I am a lucky man. I am a lucky
You
man
are.
enough to where I got a woman who is hell bent and dedicated and loyal to our relationship in general.
But
Yes,
do she
I am.
submit to you? Like, do she submit to you?
If I push her buttons and I flat out say, you know what, like, yes, she would. But we don't have that kind of relationship. We
Okay.
talk to each other and
She's
we
supposed
just
to submit to you at all times.
but I don't do that to her though. I don't force her to be that way.
No,
Like
it's not a force. It's like a, how can I say this? You know, like children, right? So like while we was kids, it's natural if we see obviously my mother, but like for the average child, right? When they see their mother and their father,
yeah,
they react to like, okay, is she or he gonna say something? Meaning they're in submission mode automatically. It don't
Yeah,
gotta be
so
forced, but the respect have to be there.
yeah, I can speak to it, right? So a lot of people I think they view submission as like dictatorship. One person doesn't have a voice, the other person they're right
yes,
all the time even if they're
yes,
wrong. But that's not
yes,
how I view it, right? So me and my husband, we have conversations. There are times when I'm like, "Hey, babe, this friend you have, I'm not going to tell you what to do about that, but I am going to tell you that this is what I notice. And I think that you might need to be careful about that." And he will take that into account and he will move
yes,
accordingly, right? But
yes, yes,
also, if I'm getting in my feelings, because sometimes I do, we don't argue, I don't yell, I don't scream, but sometimes I get anxious and I start to worry about certain things. And I'll spiral and I'll start talking to him. I'll be like, yeah, but this and this and this and this is happening. And I'm just worried about this and I'm worried about this person. And he'll be like, Kim, do me a favor, be quiet for a second. And I do. I'm quiet. You know, like I am. So that's how I view it, right?
Michi,
I'm never raising my voice on my man when I speak to him. I'm always doing it out of a place of humility,
And that's
reverence,
beautiful.
and respect.
Yes, and
no,
that's beautiful.
and honestly, that's the way Kim it should be. It you gals, you should be submissive, but also at the same time, okay, Michi, I talked to you about this earlier. Okay, I talked to you about it earlier tonight. It's kind of like if you were talking about credit scores and doing all the bullshit, whatever. Anyway, if I decide I'm going to go out and buy me a brand new $60,000 truck, right? Let's use that for example. I will turn and I will look at my woman and I'll be like, "Hey, so what do you think?" You know, and dude, I don't even care what it is. I'll turn around and look at her. Hey, like here recently, we bought a $3,800 corner couch, right? And I turn around and I look at her and I'm like, "Hey, so what do you think about this? Like, do we go spend the money or do we not?"
Well,
It's just
I wouldn't. I'm saying like, see, we talked about it earlier. Me, you, and Champion with Z.
mhm. Yes,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. So if I buy something, I'm not gonna ask my woman, "What do you think?" It is what it is. I bought it. It's at the house now. But and also Matthew, I respect that you share your account with your woman, with fiance, and I respect it. But for me, As a man, I'm not doing it.
My parents had a joint account, and I think my dad was the overall financial manager, but also when it
Correct.
came to things that were really big, right? Because
And
um,
Kimberly,
Yes,
wait,
and so am I. And so am I.
wait, real quick, Kimberly, Kimberly, like after you go, it's on Numi because she want to have her say.
okay, yeah,
But
that's fine.
Kimberly, yeah, like no, but Kimberly, it's on you. You can finish.
All right, yeah. But I do think that when it comes to really big decisions, they discuss it, right? It's like my dad, ultimately, he knows what to do with the finances. And if he feels the need to override anything, which is very rare, if that makes sense, like most of the time they're on one accord, then he will. But he does still discuss things with her. It's not saying like if you say no, I don't want to get something that I know that we actually definitely 100% need. I know that our money needs to be used this way, that he's going to be like, you know what, whatever, but he discusses things with her just out of respect for her as a person, and the fact that both of their money is in that account. Like they have one joint account, they also have two separate accounts, but most of their money is allocated to the joint account.
Numi,
Yes, correct. I agree with you, Kim.
Numi, are you there?
Yeah.
Um, you get either like answer the prompt or you can give your feedback what Matthew and Kimberly were saying.
Um, I'm just gonna go to the prompt if that's okay, because I think I
Yes,
came
it
in when
is.
they were in the middle of a discussion, so I don't want to misspeak because I'm tracking the conversation, but I'm not tracking
You can
the
like answer the
point.
prompt. Yes, you can like answer the prompt.
Why does society celebrate mothers more than fathers? And then I read the verses down here. It says mothers are honored for their special days, public recognition, media praise, social appreciation, celebrated thing to put on a pedestal. But when I look at fathers, I see that there's no special day, etc., down the line. I know y'all can read it. But what I wanted to point out is that I don't think that society is celebrating mothers more than fathers. Men have Father's Day, right? Also in the military, we have recognition days for fathers in the military. I think it's really just based on the local culture that you're in. Also, it's very dependent on, the relationship dynamics with your spouse, or if unfortunately divorced, right? Because a lot of times you see a lot of unappreciative stances happen in toxic relationships, and usually those toxic relationships are usually like separate, from a marriage. Sometimes they're still married, and they have like some discrepancies within that marriage. However, I don't think that I don't really see a difference in like the healthy world when it comes to marriages and stuff like that. I think that both parties get praise.
Can I
Now,
say
know me.
something?
Now, wait. Can we like real quick? Know me. You know that's a lie because in America, mothers are celebrated way more than fathers. If Father's Day is coming up, and I bet you any money, it's not going to be talked about on social media. It's not going to be talked about. Period. Kimberly, you can take it away.
So I do hear what you're saying, right? That was something I kind of brought up earlier, kind of about social things and personal things. But I also feel like on a systemic level, right? If you look at how the system, for example, treats single fathers, it's a lot harder for them to get assistance. It's a lot hard. They're treated completely differently, right? If you look at the statistics on that. So I did want to like kind of bring that to your attention because maybe it's not something that you have looked into. I think it's something that's worth looking into. Custody a lot of the times is awarded to moms automatically, unless the father takes the woman to court directly on his own accord, if that makes sense. So I think it's like a systemic thing.
Well, I don't disagree with that, right? But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the celebration, right, of like the recognition of a father within a home, or even just like when it comes to a raising and rearing of kids. We do know that single father households actually raise their children a lot more productively than single mother households. So I thought that's what we were talking
That's
about. Now,
true.
systemically, I agree with you. I do think that there are issues within society that's negating men's mental health, negating access for men to have resources in order to fight custodial battles, right? I will say that women get not praise but privilege for that. So I'm just trying to track the conversation. So my
No,
apologies,
no,
but I agree with
I'll
you.
agree. I'll agree with you on that point. There's, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you're fine. No.
One of y'all, like, take it away.
I don't have anything to say. Do you have something that my brain is getting tired? It's like almost 4 in the morning.
Well, it's 2:50 here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I do want to say this. Okay, I agree with the host to the point where we're not near celebrated. I'm not saying we're not celebrated. I've seen some things on TikTok. I've seen some things, where no, they're Happy Father's Day, blah blah blah, whatever. Yes, I've seen a few things, but no, he is 100% correct. Like us men, we are not celebrated like you women are. We're not in general. And I don't know. Me as a son, I love my mom. My mom is my mom is extremely awesome. She's a good woman. And so I understand in general why women are more separated, or like they're celebrated in general. I do get that. But also at the same time, yes, us men, us fathers, we're not celebrated like you guys are. And yeah, I do think it's kind of, it's kind of screwed up. But especially considering I spent $2,300 taking full custody of my daughter at one point and stuff. I mean, it just,
damn, that's a lot of money.
yeah. Well, and then her mother turned into a freaking meth head. So it just. I get what you're saying. I can't see your name, but the new gal on the panel. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, us men need to be celebrated just as much. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion.
I think it goes back to like I was thinking about it. Like I think that there's this idea that comes with kind of the parts of misaligned, like the misaligned parts of the kind of patriarchal society that we live in, where we have kind of made, I guess, I don't know, there's like a consensus, you know what I mean? Like men don't get their flowers because we assume, not me,
Yes.
but people assume that
Yes.
men don't need their flowers. That men, because they are men, they don't need validation and recognition and all of that type of stuff. And I think that's part of the problem. And I would like for us, because I don't necessarily have problems with patriarchy, but I do have problems with the part of the patriarchy that harm men and harm women. So I feel like we need to unlearn that idea that men don't need praise, they don't need validation, because we view these women, or women in general, as super soft creatures that need validation and appreciation and words of affirmation. And that's not true, but men also have feelings, and I feel like as a society we tend to negate those emotions and think that
Well, Tim,
Wait,
you remember?
wait.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think like Numi wanted to respond to what Matthew was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said that men should be celebrated more, and I'm like, I'm not disagreeing with that. I think men should be celebrated, and I see men being celebrated within my community. And I think what the issue is that I think toxic feminism has flooded the media so harshly through propaganda, right? That this is why we're seeing the negation and why men feel the way that they do. So to respond to Kimberly, I'm like, who wants fake flowers from toxic feminism? You see what I'm saying? I'm not a feminist. I'm a womanist. So, I just don't agree with the movement. The political movement has destroyed the family unit, for all walks of life within America. That's where I do see this toxicity brewing, where men aren't celebrated. But I believe that in retrospect, men should definitely separate away from those toxic women. And I know there's a lot of them. There's a lot of toxic femininity going on TikTok, but that doesn't equate to the entire world, right? So I think that if you want to find celebration, you got to find it within your local community. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
I
does
meant to
very
say,
much.
sorry, I meant to
Pretty
say no
much.
problem in the comments, not no.
Yeah.
LOL. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, but I think when we look at the roots of this, even before the kind of modern day, really it's misandry disguised as feminism that we're seeing. Um,
Yes.
Men still in when we look back before this movement were seen as these stoic creatures that don't have feelings. If they had things, they were still expected to bottle them up. The fact that we see now that men can actually come on social media and talk about their stories is something that's fairly new. I mean, and even if you look at how the court system treats things, right? If a man goes to report DV or SA or something heinous like that that's happened to him, it's way harder for him to get justice in those situations, right? So it's not something that's new. It's something that's been going on. And I do think that the modern day misandry disguised as feminism, right, movement is contributing to that, but it's also a system, unfortunately, that has been in place for a long time.
I just wanted to say that I don't disagree with
Agreed.
you, but I wanted to point out something is that it's not necessarily fairly new. It's just taken on a whole new face because we used to have the barbershops back in the day, right? Everybody watches
Yes.
movies with the
Yes.
barbershops.
That's true.
Barbershops is where men were able to literally congregate and be able to fix society in the way that it needed to, patriarchally, locally. We've seen a diminish of that. And I think that's one of the biggest issues we're facing too, is that where the community is laying now, it's laying in a narrative that changes for us to be controlled. That's my opinion. It might sound like conspiracy, but we see a lot of propaganda and most people just regurgitate talking points on this app, right? Which gets us in our feelings. It really does. A lot of shit's triggering the fuck out of people. Oh, excuse my language. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think that the circumference of media itself is where we need to be to find validation. We need to find our validation within our core values and seek out those like us within the community. And I think that's when shit will change.
Well, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I also just feel like there's a need to address the system. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there needs to be more advocacy against the systems in place that are harming men and that are seeing these men as emotionless robots that make money and go home. I think that's part of the problem too. And the thing is that there are
Correct.
plenty of like barbershops still exist, but even back then, right? If you were to go in your barbershop and break down into tears, they might still laugh at you because that is how men are taught to deal with their emotions. They're taught that the only socially acceptable emotion for them to express is anger. And anything else, and that's been a thing, and anything else makes them quote, quote, weak, which I completely freaking disagree with. Um, and that's always been a thing. When soldiers came back from World War II and were shell shocked, many were called cowards. So it's always been a thing. And I also feel like, you know, as a woman, I can't really hold other. It's harder for me to, because I've been in spaces where men are completely invalidating men's stories and invalidating men's pain, and it's harder for me to kind of point it out because I'm a woman and because they don't want to hear it from me. So I hope that men can also get to the point where they're calling out their brothers and they're being like, yo, dude, he's allowed to feel what he feels. Like his pain is real. A lot of men have experienced that pain. He's not weak for feeling that pain. He's not weak for talking about it. He's strong for talking about it, because at the end of the day, that takes strength to know that you could potentially deal with criticism, that you could deal with backlash, that you could deal with people laughing in your face and still tell your story and let that all that other crap roll off your shoulders. So it's sick and it's sad. So
Now,
yeah.
Kimberly, my love, I agree with you, but men, we if we spot another man that's crying or showing his emotional side, we will view him as a quote unquote pussy.
Correct.
But also is when a man is emotional with his woman, either she's gonna view it as cute, beautiful, but if he consistently do it, she's gonna view him as something else. She's gonna be like, oh, he's weak or he's soft because
Correct.
no
Correct.
man, we don't like being called soft and weak.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So I check women on that too. I think it's completely okay for men to cry. My husband has cried in front of me many times because he watched people get unalived in front of him. Literally
See,
with
that's it.
huge.
That's
So
another. I mean, like minus the like unalive. How often do he cries on you?
whenever he wants. He's lately, because he's been, I don't know if you guys have heard of this kind of like psychological phenomenon, but there's this thing where people can go numb, right? Where they experience so much trauma at a young age, that their body, in order to protect themselves, completely shuts down their ability to feel anything at all. So during the course of our relationship, he has been feeling more and more and more and realizing all the things that have happened to him in his past. So he does it often. And I think he is the strongest. I know he is the strongest man that I know. Like point blank, period. He's the manliest man I know. He's the most masculine man I know. There's nothing weak about him. Like he won't back down from anything. He's very strong. He's very resilient. And I think it's a problem that women look at men like that and they're judging them and calling and thinking, oh, it's soft, whatever. No, I think it's a privilege to be able to witness that, because 80% of successful suicides are men. So at the end of the day, look at the amount of men, right, who, because of that compartmentalization, are dealing with stress-related illnesses such as heart disease and high blood pressure, and then unaliving from them. Look at the rate of the percentage of men who unalive from that. So it's completely unacceptable. There's nothing weak about showing mercy.
Agreed. Completely. 100% agreed. I,
And, like Kimberly, my love. When men cry to their women tell their girls about that.
I don't tell
So
anything. I
so
don't
he
tell my girls. First of all, I have one friend who's married, and I have him. She doesn't know anything about that.
well she do now if she's listening to this,
Oh, she may
but
not. But at the end of the day, he doesn't care because he'll cry in front of anybody. But if you try him, he will beat some, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying if somebody tries him, he'll still beat their ass. So it really doesn't matter. Like he's not ashamed of it.
but
He doesn't
Kimberly,
care.
see, you're speaking from the 1% of the woman. Like, but see, women, a lot of American women, when their man consistently cries, they're gonna view him as weak. Now, Kimberly, I'm blessed that you don't view your husband as weak, and salute you on that. But men, when we consistently cry to our woman, that's gonna be viewed as a weakness by the average American woman.
And to them, I have to say, you are emotionally unavailable. You need to heal. I don't know how you became so masculinized, but you need to get out of that. At the end of the day, if he can't cry to you, who is he supposed to go to? You want him to deal with everything by himself and keep it all tucked up in a bag, and then get heart disease and high blood pressure? You want him to, what would you prefer? Like, you are supposed to be your husband's helpmate. You're supposed to be a helper to him. You're supposed to submit to him. You're there to help him. That's your freaking
Darling,
job. If you can't do
we're
that,
only
then
going
stay
to
away
be.
from men and be single.
You and I we're gonna see it that way because, like, okay, my wife, my fiance, we turn around and like, she's gonna be there for me, no matter what kind of shape I'm in. But that's what 16 years does for you. You turn around and just like, I mean, she can be a bald little baby, and maybe here recently, like I told you guys earlier tonight. Okay, she lost her mom at 45. She lost her dad at 47. Now here last week, she turned around, she lost her uncle, who she was extremely close to. Am I going to turn around? But also at the same time, I was tearing up because I've known this man for 16 years, but also at the same time, I understand what the host is saying because you got, as a man, It is your job. It is your job as a man to turn around and be emotionally available, not only for your woman, but for your kids and everything else. So, like, if I'm going to turn around and I'm going to cry, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've cried with her and stuff, but I don't show my emotions. I've got a 20 acres to farm. I've got vehicles to work on. I've got to mow the yard. I've got to turn around and I got to go to work every day. And I'm sitting in a freaking plant where I'm turning around, it's 125 degrees in that son of a bitch. You know, like, no, I understand what the host is saying. Okay, I get it. But also at the same time, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You know, like,
sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, go.
I feel like people think that emotion is the antithesis of logic, but anyone who is overloaded on emotion, as in if you're compartmentalizing all the time, then you are 100% overloaded on emotion, cannot be logical. If your nervous system is chronically dysregulated, it's very hard to be logical because it affects the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that controls regulation, logic, and rational decision making. So if you're emotionally overloaded, and this isn't to you, but just to say in general, like how women will invalidate that and think, oh, he can't be logical or he can't lead. Then the gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, and gray matter is something that adds to confusion, makes it hard to make decisions. It affects your short and long-term memory, will become completely in excess. So if somebody does not have a healthy outlet for their emotions, then they're incapable of being logical. It's not physically possible with the way that their brain is working. I think also the prefrontal cortex can start to shrink. I know the amygdala also enlarges. So men need to be able to have a healthy outlet for their emotions, and it does not detract from them being logical. My husband is very, very intelligent. He is the most intelligent man that I've ever met in my entire life. And he's only gotten more intelligent as time goes on. So I think that people just need to kind of understand that.
No, and I think that's badass that you guys have that kind of relationship. Just like I hope that you respect my fiancés.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just we've already raised these 4 kids. We got them out of the house. You know, and when it comes down to my emotions, okay, I mean that woman is right beside my side in 2 seconds. I mean, she'll be right there. If I need a day where I need to vent or I need to cry or I do need to do any of that stuff, yes, she is there. But I'm simply, just like Michi said, I'm simply explaining to you that, like, your man's got to be your man, okay? And, like, you know, no, I'm not sitting here saying that from what you said earlier. I'm in no way saying that he's like in some type of ball baby or something. I'm not saying that, but no, I'm glad you guys have that kind of relationship because I have that with my fiance too. It just, maybe it's PTSD, maybe it's something. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to say something. So I just feel like we're connecting 2 different dynamics because my premise would be that men need men. However, I'm not negating what you guys are saying because I'm also a married woman too. But to give clarity, right? I am the pillar of the foundations of my relationship because my husband built me to understand what it is that we were going to be doing. This is the hierarchy of it all, right? We were so equally yoked, it worked because my pillars are the same as his pillars. However, in order to create a solution for men, men need other men, right? And in a very healthy way, not an unhealthy way. And what a woman does is a woman keeps that grounding within her household. It's called the Shekinah, right? This is the dwelling of the house of God. Does that make sense? So when he goes out into society and he comes back, she's able to keep him rooted in his faith, right? But in order to fix the sickness of the patriarchy that's happening currently, why we're seeing so much more feministic men, right? Because you had pointed out earlier, they're reaching out by anger through their emotions versus using logic and reason, is because they've negated the community of men and what that actually means. Iron sharpens iron.
Correct.
That's the biggest thing.
Correct.
Right. So it's like that's something that we do need in society, and we don't see that. And the question is, and it begs the question as to why.
Well, I think the problem is that men need other men who are also regulated and healed around them. And the problem is that there are a bunch of humans, right, walking around right now that are completely unregulated and completely unhealed. My husband has found it. He has one guy friend, literally one person who he considers. He has a lot of people who think they're his friends, but he has one person who he actually trusts enough to go to, and to go to. Sorry, my brain's not working. To go to
No,
for
no.
anything.
I
Um,
have a lot of fake friends too. I have a lot of
yeah,
fake friends too. Yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like he won't even go to his brother about things because his own brother, unfortunately, is a currently. I'm hoping that he heals and changes, a huge snake.
Yeah.
There are so
Yeah.
many men, especially in my age group, right? That like I remember there was a guy he was friends with that we were both cool with actually in college. I made music with this man who then turned around and tried to hit on me. There are a bunch of men with my ex-fiance, right? He had a
Mhm.
friend who was always, I told you guys he was a cheater. He had a friend who would always encourage, let's go hang with the hoes, let's do this, let's do that, right? And then turned around and tried to hit on me as well. And he had to cut him off
Good
because of course
lord.
I didn't go for it either. That's freaking nasty. Like, are you good, bro? That was disgusting. But anyway, there are too many that men have to. It's just hard to trust people nowadays. It's hard.
Well,
It's
yeah,
difficult to
men or
find
women.
people who are
Yeah,
worth
in general.
trusting.
Yeah, men or women in general. They're
Mm-hmm.
yes. I mean, it's not pointed at one sex or the other. I mean, it like flat out. I mean, these young kids. I mean, they're crazy nowadays. I'm sorry, but they are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
completely true. And that's the problem. So there needs to be a universal healing that happens, because if you are not part of all the noise, which most people are, then it's very hard to truly connect with people. And that's something that I found with myself as well. It's hard for me to truly connect with people because everybody is on some mess. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
these women are on mess. 30
Correct.
something year olds, 40 something year olds with the
Yes.
mind of a teenager. All
Correct.
they want to
Correct.
do is gossip. All they want to do is talk about men, like be male centered all day. Like in the reason I'm saying that is because these women will literally like be the most like they want to be side chicks. They want to talk about peen. They want to talk about that I don't care about. They want to talk about celebrities that I don't know. I want to talk about how to grow. I want to hold each other accountable. I want to talk about how to be, for me personally, a woman of God in submission. I
Yes.
want
Good.
friends
Good. Good
who
for
are
you.
going to keep me on track and not try to drag me into their mess and who are capable of holding themselves accountable. So if you cannot do that, we cannot hang. And too many people cannot do that. So therefore, I have one female friend and my husband.
Yeah, good. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome.
Now I agree with that. So, and this goes into another position that I carry as well, is where does this influence come from? Because I agree that we are very much a minority when it comes to this type of train of thought, right? Most people are fighting within the dichotomy of it all. Dichotomy just meaning dualism, left versus right, women versus men. This is kind of where a lot of people live in their mindset. They're not able to see the bigger picture of how we're all connected. So this is kind of like what we're going through. So like what influences us to be this separate from one another? In my opinion, I think it's literally like American culture is like rooted in social media. It's rooted in propaganda. It's rooted in what we see on the TV because everything's like relative to market. Does that make sense? Oh, I didn't want her to leave my
No,
lighter.
100%. And here's my opinion on that too. Okay, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, like I can't figure out where, as a 44-year-old man, I can't figure out like where women lost their place. Okay, and yes, I know it's not the 1950s. I know it's not the 1960s
Right, to
anymore.
say women and men. We just pointed out two of the dichotomistic problems within society is that women are losing their faith in God or their faith in whatever it is that they believe in, their pillars, to where they can't uphold a marriage, right? And also men have lost their lack in community. So it's both women and men.
No, agreed. No, 100%. It's agreed. What I'm saying though is, okay, I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. I've been with my woman for 16 years. Okay? It's one of the things though, when we wake up, we get out of the bed every morning. Okay? Hands down, plain and simple. We get out of the bed every morning. She knows what her role is, and I know what mine is. Okay? I go out and I mow the yard. I change the oil on the vehicles. If it needs new spark plugs, and I do that too. You know what I mean? Like, I know what my role is. And women and men have both lost their roles in their life. Like, it just, I don't know. I guess to me, in my personal opinion, I was raised to do all the physical labor. Okay? That's what I was raised to do. I was a painter. I owned my own business for 25 years. Okay? And while I was at home and we had the kids, which our kids are out of the house now. I'm 44, she's 42. It's one of the things where we don't have any kids anymore. But while she's at home, she goes, Matt, I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna do the laundry, I'm gonna do this and that, blah blah blah, whatever. And I'm gonna work on the vehicles. I'm gonna mow the yard. I'm gonna do my role as a man, and as well as bring home the majority of the money. And then she's going to do her side of things. And that's where society, that's where a man and a woman, Miss Independent. These women nowadays, especially these young kids, they all like, well, I don't need a man. I don't have to rely on you. Like, everybody has lost their role as what they were supposed to do. And I'm sorry, but I would go back to the 50s, 60s. I know the way my parents were raised. I saw the things, and you know what? The world back then was a way more peaceful world. And like, people just understood each other. And they were so much more kind and caring. And just
I think somebody wants to come up. I'm so sorry, Matthew. Somebody in the comments is asking if he can have a conversation with Matthew. But Matthew, I did want to say something. I think that roles are adaptive. I don't think that people have lost in general roles, because roles have an adaptability. We can't go back to the 50s and 60s. We live in 2026.
Sure.
Right? So roles have to be adaptive in order to deal with the climate economically, socially, et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, it's like, I find it trivial when we try to place roles that don't necessarily exist anymore, right? We have to define what tradition actually means. Tradition is very much subjective. It's subjective to the pillars of what people want to build upon. If you want to build on Christian moral principles, sure. It's like, if you want to do that with Judaism, sure. It's like, either way, you got to find a derivative to your axiom, right? So axiom just means like your core principles.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think that's where a lot of people are losing, is they're losing how to adapt to the current system at hand, right? Because if we had more male community within the system that embraced the damage that has been done by society, because we have to realize that these cycles have been happening before we were even born. That has created the dissemination of the social construct of America, right?
Yes.
America has a really deep-rooted, dark fucking history. We're not only just separated by race, but we're also separated by gender. Men are separated from men, and women are separated from women. Women, I mean, it's the dichotomy of it all. So it's like, we have to figure out how to adapt and overcome in 2026 and what that's going to look like. We have to agree upon that. So I don't agree with going back to the 50s or 60s.
Hey, we got somebody